It's in. Listen, I'm struggling over here. I was just cleaning my house. It just came in. We're gonna watch the verdict together. And it is late. I don't care. You're getting a live reaction from AV. It's in. I'm in a hoodie. No makeup on. I didn't give a shit. Let's go. All right, guys, let's go. So we're gonna jump on in. I'm gonna catch up. Coming to the stream right now. Law and crime trials. Thank you guys so much to everybody that let me know. They were like, AV, get the hell up, let's go. I thought this was gonna come in around 2 o'clock, but it is in right now. So, law and crime trials. There we go. There it is. It looks like Deomonte Kendrick, not guilty. Yak Gotti, not guilty. Oh my God. Okay, all right, share screen. Coming over here. Make it big. Look at the banner. Yak Gotti is not guilty. Stillwell, Shannon, guilty of firearm possession. Crazy, guys, crazy. This just happened 15 minutes ago. Let's watch right here. The jury's coming in, and we are going to watch this 15 minutes late. But you know what? Better late than never. Let's go. Here we go.
All right, good morning. Sure.
One second. That you guys will not be able to go back and forth once we start. All right?
All right, good morning, everybody. We have a verdict. We have two verdicts. And I do not want there to be any kind of disruption or disturbance in court, regardless of what this verdict is.
Oh my God.
Can we get the jury out, please?
Oh, here we go. Guys, we have watched this trial for over a year. It's in. And obviously you know what the outcome is. I want to hear what is said. This has been a long road, y'all. We got an answer. These two men have an answer, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna invite y'all up. Let me know your thoughts. We're having a party. It's the end of the trial. Let's do it. Let's do it. There's that Prada tie.
All rise for the jury.
Shannon and that Louis Vuitton, they are dippy for court, like straight dip.
All right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Mr. Foreperson, is that correct? All right, and was it unanimous?
Yes.
All right, and this verdict has been filled in and signed and dated by you, correct? Or for each defendant? All right, and I noticed that Mr. Kendrick's verdict form is dated December 2nd. Is that because that's when you all reached the verdict with regard to him? Okay. And then Mr. Stillwell's is dated today? Correct. Okay. All right.
Before we get into it.
All you people from the future, please stop spoiling it. We're trying to watch. Keep it to yourself. It's just 15 minutes. You can do it. All right, spoiling people? I'm speaking for the people that haven't seen it yet. Like me. Shh. Just wait. All right? Wait. Let's keep going.
Mr. Kendrick, you have been found not guilty on all charges. Mr. Stillwell, can you please stand? You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge.
Oh my God! Oh, that is, look at Shannon. Oh my God, guys.
So, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God. Okay, stop. So you spoiling people. You don't get live reactions like this. Look at that. Look at that. Yak Gotti guilty on, like not guilty on all counts. This state wasted everybody's time, wasted taxpayer dollars, took us through this for a year. I want my money back. Fulton County, what the fuck? Sorry to swear, guys, but what the hell? You really doing this to people? And this is why we're gonna do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll, hold up, poll up in a second, and then I'm gonna pull you guys up and we're gonna talk about it. Look at this. An entire year of a trial. Thug could have waited. Yak Gotti not guilty on everything. Could y'all give it up for Max and Doug right now? We're gonna go back and look at this heartfelt hug between Shannon and Max Shard. Take the firearm charge, shit, like just take it. Guys, we've been waiting for this. So many people gave up on the trial after Young Thug left. No, I don't know. We'll watch to see if they get any probation. But like, Yak Gotti got out clean. Clean, no probation. Oh my God. We're gonna go back. So spoiling people, ha ha ha, that's what happens, okay? We get to celebrate this moment. Huge moment. Let's watch it again. We're gonna go all the way back. I wanna see Yak's reaction because it's happening very quickly. 15 minutes. And look at their faces, they were worried. Right here. Doug there, but I know at the same time, Doug is with Yak. Yak Gotti just got stabbed in the head. You can still see the staples in his head, right? It's right there. These men have been through legal warfare. Look at Shannon's face, dripped up. Prada, Louis Vuitton. Let's watch this again.
Pause, your president accounted for.
All right, thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Mr. Foreperson, is that correct? All right, and was it unanimous? Yes. All right, and this verdict has been filled in and signed and dated by you, correct? Oh, for each defendant? All right, and I noticed that Mr. Kendrick's verdict form is dated December 2nd. Is that because that's when you all reached the verdict with regard to him? Okay. And then Mr. Stillwell's is dated today? Correct. Okay. All right, Mr. Kendrick. You have been found not guilty on all charges. Mr. Stillwell, can you please stand? You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are officially released from further service, and I cannot express the degree of thanks that Fulton County owes you for your service. Given the length of this trial, you have paid close attention this entire time, and I appreciate your devotion, as I'm sure do the parties in this case. You are welcome to stay for the sentencing, or you can return to the jury room. I would like to speak with you in just a moment in the jury room. If you all do want to stay, you're welcome to stay. Is there any objection to the form or the legality of this verdict? No. Any from the defense? No. All right. All right. Is there any reason that we can't go ahead and sentence? You may.
Oh, shit. Are we going to sentencing?
You may.
Oh, shit. Oh my God, do I have time? I do. I see Simone's face. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
All right, so are we going to go ahead with sentencing? Is the state, I know the state had filed a recidivist notice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do y'all intend to stand on that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the recidivist is A and C recidivist. That means that I have no discretion but to sentence to the maximum on that count. And the sentence possibility is 5 to 10. I must sentence to 10 years. However, I can probate any part of that sentence at my discretion. And so the court sentence on count 64 for Mr. Stillwell is going to be 10 years to serve 2, with credit for time served, the balance served on probation. All right, I am going to recess.
He's getting out. The balance served on probation.
I'm going to recess for a moment, and we will reconvene on the status conference in a few minutes.
Oh my God, guys. Look at God. Who said that in the chat? Look at God. Wow. Wow, there's so much to unpack there. But let me just make sure we're not missing anything else. There's a little bit more.
Right. You have 30 days to file a motion for new trial if you choose to do that. Your attorneys will represent you on that unless they are excused from that representation by me. You also have 30 days from either this date or the date the motion for new trial is ruled upon to file a direct appeal if that's something you would like to do. And given that this is a felony conviction, you would have 4 years from the date that those direct appeals are finished.
Look at the state. Look at all of them. Look at them. They're just, look at how they're oh, they are so salty that this jury came back with practically letting these guys go. Practically letting them go. And Shannon, do that. Shannon, do it. Just do the probation. Oh my God. Look at Miss Love. Look at the saltiness. Look at the saltiness. We are reveling in this right now. Saltiness. Look at it. Y'all took us through all this rigmarole for nothing, for a year. Look at that. They're all salty. Let's dissect this. You got Miss Love in the beige, right? You could see it in her shoulders. We don't even need to see your face, sis. We could see it in the shoulders. What is the next one's name? I call him the Post-it kid. I forget. Atkins. No, Atkins is on the other side. Abate. Abate, I think you could see a little bit of flushness on his ears. We can see it. We can see it from this angle. We don't need to see y'all's faces. Look at that, Abate. All of these witnesses, over 100 witnesses, 40% didn't want to be there. Look at Abate. Where is Sprinkle? I'd love to see Sprinkle's face right now. I would love it. Yeah, so I was listening to jail phone calls as I was trying to put these people away for crimes they did not commit, and putting 2 and 2 together, they're calling people rats and things, and all of a sudden there's this Rico. We're just going to sprinkle Rico on them. I know. We're going to go one by one. Atkins. Well, shout out to Queen Ty. Well, let's look at Atkins. Atkins did all that work. Atkins lost cabello. He lost hair. He was stressed out. Look at Atkins. You could see it on the side of Atkins' face. Look at it. Look at it. The disappointment. We didn't win. We lost. We're going to analyze Simone's body language in a second. That's cool. They're like, talk with your hands, Amy. He was trying to pin this murder on these 2 men. These people that were getting paid $25 a day had hands in front of them all day, all day. all day. Shout out to shout out to the hands. Now let's go to Miss Simone. We're gonna watch Simone because I can't really see from this angle, but Simone Hilton wore that red. She stood in front of this jury along with everybody else wearing that red, saying to these people, these men did these crimes. I don't have DNA evidence. I don't have the gun, but these people are guilty. It's not funny, but the theatrics, red, all the saltiness, oh my God. Whoo-wee. Let's go to the back table. You see the bald man on the right-hand side? That's your RICO expert. This is not funny, but it's funny. That's your RICO expert. That is your RICO. That's your RICO expert. We talked about this yesterday. The two longest cases in Georgia history. One was the RICO case that Fonnie Willis brought against the educational system. It took 8 months. The longest case in Georgia history is this one. They tried to bring RICO. The district attorney before Fonnie Willis, Paul Howard, yeah, there's corruption. He didn't take this case. He didn't take it. The RICO expert's face right now is everything. We're gonna marvel in it. Now, in this still that we're looking at, the most jarring is sis right here on the left. I mean, she is pretty. I have admired the way that she's dressing. Her hair is always on point. I honestly, out of all the people that dressed on the prosecution side, I love sis right here. I wish we knew her name. The names must be named. If anybody knows her name, let us know. I am like, she's one of my favorite people on the prosecution side. And at the end of the day, I don't think that they should have bought this case at all, but I love sis right there. Sis is keeping it a buck with you guys. If you look at her face, she's like, oh, hell no. Like, what is this? What is this? Let's rock it out, guys. It's a party. I'm in a hoodie. Listen, let's keep going. That still is everything. Look at Miss Love. Look at her. Look at her.
To file a habeas corpus petition challenging anything about the constitutionality of this conviction and sentence. All right.
And that's it. The judge walked off. She is so done with this shit. She left. Is that it? There is supposed to be a status update for the other YSL people. I'm just going to bring us to current time. So now, guys, we have run out of TiVo time. We are live. Oh my God, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let's come to some super chats. I'm gonna drop the link. Come on up, let's talk. Let's commune as a communita, as a family. Like, we've been watching this for so long. I mean, it's such a glorious occasion. It's a glorious day, guys. So here's what happened. I do hear that there's no Rule 22 for this. Now, earlier I was here in my office and I checked in at 9 o'clock to see if we had a verdict yet. Checked in again at 10, walked away for a few minutes, went to go vacuum, and then all of a sudden y'all were like, verdict's in. I'm like, oh shit, let me run to my desk. I don't care, no makeup on, I don't give a damn. We're gonna be here, right? Now, when I popped in around 9, there was some movement in the courtroom and we heard Maurice's voice. Maurice is the cameraman and he was filming. He wasn't supposed to. It was like 60 seconds. Maurice was filming and there was like a defendant that looks familiar to me because you guys remember Operation Planners, that big document that we have with the 28 defendants, all of the crimes. So it was, I recognized this gentleman's face as a defendant from that document. He's a heavy-set guy, and everybody was in the chat like, who the hell is that? Who's this? Who's this? Right? They are going to do a, I believe the judge was asking, Maurice, why are you filming this? There's no Rule 22 for it. He says Law and Crime says that we do have one. But since they're still filming, I believe that we are going to see that, okay? Not confirmed yet, but we're going to watch. We're gonna watch. Somebody said, Ben Crump, come get these guys money. I mean, I saw Ben Crump in the Atlanta airport like a month ago. I was wondering why he was down there. You know when Ben Crump is around and he's like, he looks exactly like how he does in person, that like on the TV. I was like, because we were in the security line, I was like, is that Ben Crump? And then I thought about it, I said, why are you in Atlanta? What's going on? Like the tea. All right, let's go to some super chats, guys, and then I'll drop the link so y'all can come up as well. We'll talk about it. It looks like there is a little bit more to the trial today, so a glorious occasion. Deomonte Kendrick, not guilty. Shannon Stillwell, guilty, but the rest of the time, he's getting credit for time served, and the balance of it's gonna be on probation. You know Whitaker was like, you know what, we're done? Okay, we are done. She was so happy. She was so happy. Let's come to some supers. Shout out to the first, the one, the only. Here comes Drama with the 10. She says, I have faith in the justice system again. Jury 2 got it right. Yeah, guys, this is amazing. Who knew that the trial would end in this way? Who knew that we would learn so much about the justice system? But who knew that this jury was going to do what they did? I mean, at the end of the day, the state's case was weak, and it got weaker, and it got weaker, and it got weaker. And then when Thug and them took plea deals, it got weaker. We're looking at all this footage. How do y'all think Viverito feels? All of those experts that were on the stand. Ooh. We're going to talk. We have a lot to talk about. Shout out to Miss Crotty Shetty with the 20. Says, we need DOGE to come to Georgia 100%. This was a mess. Let's hit it for Miss Crotty Shetty. It is a mess. It was a mess. For what? You know, and then, you know, it'd be one thing if the YSL was RICO, but the fact that the Georgia election, and granted, a lot of people think that Donald Trump stole it because he made a phone call, right? But to lock up people from the White House on RICO charges. I was in Georgia the day they shut down all the hallways and highways and stuff. I was in Georgia the day that the motorcade was coming down 85. He got booked. There's a mugshot. That happened in Georgia. That happened because of Fonnie Willis. And look at this defeat. Look at it. Look at this defeat. The one common denominator. RICO charges. And RICO is running all over the country at this point. I told you guys yesterday, if you're just now watching it, please go watch the Drake video that I did. Why Drake trying to put civil RICO on on UMG because of they not like us? Now everybody's throwing RICO around. Diddy got a RICO charge. All of it is because of Fonnie. Fonnie started the RICO trend. What in the hell? Lord have mercy. Shout out to El Medina with the 2. Are you Portuguese? Medina. Let me find out, sis. She says, can Yak contact Thug now since he not... Sis, yes. Yes, he most likely will. Right? You know these brothers are talking. As soon as they are released today, steak dinner, go chill. Shout out to Kayla. All love for Kayla. Kayla's got her husband back. Shout out to Kayla. This is amazing. But thank you so much, great question. Shout out to Thelonia has been a member for a month. That's an interesting picture, sis. I love that. She says, I had to shed a tear. Both are free to go. We've all been invested, guys. Y'all have been at work. You're in trucks. You're all across America trying to figure out what's going on with this goddamn case. And at the end of the day, this was the result. Jurors have power. It don't matter how villainous the prosecution will make you look as a defendant. And I cannot wait to see Miss Love's face again. What are they going to put a statement out? What do you think they're going to say after this defeat? What are they going to say? Oh my God. And I am going to hit them up on Twitter. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to talk to Doug and everybody wants to talk to Shannon's attorney, Max. Like, they're going to be overwhelmed with interviews. But, oh, and Ashley's coming on Monday. I can't wait to see Ashley Merchant's opinion. That's going to be amazing. Make sure you subscribe and you're back on Monday because I'm telling you. Shout out to Buddy305 Love with the 5 says, Doug, nothing burger for Fanny. Listen. The way that this burger was constructed, it was fictitious. Like our friend Rika, we've been looking for him. Where's little Mike and Quez? Where's little Woody? Oh my God. Mook Tunk. Shit, Mook Tunk. Oh my God. I hope they get Mook Tunk out. I mean, we need to start a petition. Free Mook Tunk. Can y'all type free Mook Tunk in the chat? See, some of these guys, let's do a poll. Let's do a poll right now. Let us do a poll. Should Thug have thugged it out and waited? And y'all remember, Brian Steele did not want him to accept that deal. But Thug wanted to get out of jail. I mean, I don't blame him. You can't blame a guy. You cannot blame a guy. Oh, look, 80% of y'all so far. Hit the like button for me on your way. Damn, y'all got my likes looking great. Oh my God. Should Thug have waited this out? He accepted the plea deal last week of October. I think it was the 27, 28. Mook Tunk was sentenced like 2-3 weeks before that. Today's December 3rd. It would have just been a month. Oh, man. But let's keep going. And I'm so excited right now. Buddy's like talking about a nothing burger. And I'm like, yeah, the way that it was constructed, you have the buns that are made out of invisibleness and Rico things. And you sprinkle the Rico on top. All of it. Shout out to Keita G, fellow attorney. She's in the building. She says she has a $20 super chat here. Thank you so much, sis. Hope you're doing well. She says the state needs to charge themselves with RICO. Say it again, Keita. Say it for the cheap seats in the back, Keita. She says they are the real gang here. Walking up in a court wearing all red. The jury saw the shenanigans. I just hope these men stay out of trouble. Same here. I really do. The fact that they get to leave today, the fact that they don't have to be sat there in shackles. One of the videos that I did, we did a documentary style video on the Georgia prison system. And the way we opened it, it took me forever because I was like, how do I make it like captivating? I picked the moment where Yak Gotti talked about being woken up at 2 a.m. and he didn't have to be at court until 10 a.m. the next day. As a taxpayer, that infuriated me. You're gonna use prison resources to if you have to transport prisoners, fine. But you're gonna wake this man up at 2 a.m. He doesn't have to be in court until 10 a.m. So you're taking somebody, you're shackling them by the hands. And remember, Angela told us about that weird, like they've got a leg shackle on too, belly chains, all of it. You're gonna have somebody sit there and holding for 8 hours? And then you're gonna make them sit in a courtroom for another 8 hours? And then when they go back, they need to make phone calls to their family, they have to eat, they have to shower. How much sleep was he getting? Are we gonna talk about that? Crazy, guys, crazy. Like nobody really talks about what is happening in these jails. I was so mad. So it took me a while to research the video and get it out, but oh my God. So Dennis is interviewing a juror. I wonder what that looks like. We might have to pop into that stream and just watch. Shout out to Carrie with the 20 says, AV had to come through for your commentary. The state made an ass of themselves. Big ass. Like big, I'm not gonna do it, but big ass. All right, this is a big ass, giant, mushy, gushy. I've been hanging out with MTR too much. Giant, mushy, gushy, big ass. Right. The defeat is heavy on those shoulders, baby. That's why I want to see Miss Love's face. Yelling at people, screaming at people, hollering every day. We couldn't do it. We got a lot of head action over there, so hopefully they are getting all settled soon, and we'll continue with the proceedings. And of course, I am going to invite you guys up as soon as I get through these supers, but man, oh man. Look at all them heads. Look at the heads of defeat. All of the cabasses. All of them are there. Thank you, Carrie. Shout out to Valor Beauty with the 2 says, you'll never ever win when you play dirty, people. I mean, you're trying to trap all these men with plea deals, outrageous probation. You know, trying to trap little Woody. Woody was like, I'm on to y'all. Shout out to little Woody, guys. I'm on to y'all. What you mean? Huh? Like, listen, little Woody wasn't playing these games with these people. It was amazing. Then, oh my God, Lil D, you gonna rip this kid with sickle cell anemia. You gonna rip this kid out of a hospital bed. He came to court in a jumpsuit with all the things hanging off of his arms. All of them. He didn't want to be there. He was on Oxy. This case is crazy. Little D was on the stand on Oxy. That's how bad they wanted these guys to testify against each other. How about on Travia? Shout out to Travia. She did not fuck with Miss Love. Oh my God. And Travia Smith was one of my favorite witnesses. Travia had her eyebrows were amazing. Lashes done, all of that. She did have a deeper, raspier voice. Miss Love was asking her questions and she was not having it. Do y'all remember the woman with the wig who got shot in the ass? Somebody's auntie. She was reaching for a drink. Like, she didn't deserve that. She was nervous as heck. They had her on the stand. We had to deal with that. And we had to deal with all of Miss Love's the Skittles wardrobe. We had what? Slime green. We had the Tweety Bird joint. We had the white and black number. We had the red. I think there was almost every color of the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. I'm on one today. Oh my God, I've been hanging out with MTR too much. Shout out to D with the 2 says, good morning, AV and chat. Good morning to you, D. Shout out to Michael Love with the 5 says, AV, today will be our last YSL trial dinner. Which shall we eat? Listen, Michael Love, what are we eating? Whatever you want, buddy. Whatever you want, Michael Love. Oh my God. Just make sure that you add some shmoney in there so I can get some Skittles. Taste the rainbow. This woman, if she ever sees me in Atlanta, she's gonna hate me. Shout out to Spit and Fire with the 20 says, I'm crying with joy. Me too, sis. I'm having a ball. This is amazing. This is amazing. Y'all are saying seafood, tacos. Crypto sees me wilding. I am. I'm celebrating. Shout out to April G with the 5 says, Rico is with Lil Mike and Quez. Don't exist. That was probably one of my favorite trial moments. Little Mike and Quez. When Max Shard had Woody on the stand, it was like, Woody. And that shows you how fucked up this investigation was. Woody's in an interrogation room making people up. And they didn't follow up on that. That interview was from 2015. That made the state look crazy. Max is like, Woody, do Little Mike and Quez exist? He goes, no, I made it up. Oh my God, April. Little Mike and Quez. Shout out to Bev with the 5 says, at AV can Thug appeal anything now? You know, I anticipate that Young Thug's team has been watching this very closely, especially Brian. Did y'all see a picture of Brian in a jumpsuit, a spider jumpsuit, dripped? It was amazing. So I imagine that they're going to watch this. I do think that the state is not going to be happy with the result. Does it go up on appeal? Who knows? I mean, really, appeals, they're more popular on the side of the defendants. So if the defendant doesn't like the result, they could appeal it. But remember how many problems this trial has had. 3 judges. Everybody likes to look at 2. You got to remember, Judge Ingram was on there too for like 2 days. 3 judges. Lots of procedural issues. If you want to open the door, open the door. Brian Steele almost got locked up. And he won on that issue when it went to the Georgia Supreme Court. The state messed up the case with one of the detectives and Simone. The next day they put in, they're probably scrambling and scraping right now to clean this up. You can't clean this up. Tough on crime? Give me my money back. I want my taxpayer dollars back. I want a refund. And all the people at Emory Law School, one of your professors put on a red suit and was screaming at a jury about how guilty these people are. No forensic information at all. No forensic evidence. I wish I had the gun. I wish I had DNA. That's what your professor did. You know, I didn't go to the best law school. It wasn't ranked very high in my state. But the thing is with Massachusetts, like there's like a million law schools here. I probably went to one in the middle. But my professors were amazing. They thugged it out. Like, I'm proud of them. Especially my criminal law professor. That is a G. I had one professor that was a double Harvard major. He went to Harvard Law School and he went to Harvard for undergrad. Old as hell, 90s. Somebody's papa was there, like, and he was still sitting there, like, hunched over, like, all right, we're gonna learn about torts today. And when he would talk about porn, it was the craziest thing ever. I mean, all of my professors were G's at what they did. Even the ones that practiced. This is not a good look. Is there a press conference? Where? Guys, I see somebody say press conference, where? Let me know where the press conference is and I'll pull it up. Okay, y'all, this phone is just, this is messages on messages. Look at God. All right, press conference. Yeah, but where, guys? Where's it at? Living Alive. Dennis is talking to the jurors. Yes, we made it to the end, Basic Bunny. I'm so hyped, Mr. Clean. I'm so hyped. I'm going to keep going. Let me know where that press conference is, guys, and I'll pull it up. We are still waiting to see what's going to happen in the courtroom because we need a status hearing on everything else. Don't say you're going to miss us. Low C. We ain't going nowhere. There's plenty of trial coverage coming up. Miss Sylvia, free them all. All right, I'm going to keep checking, but when y'all have a news place, let me know. We'll go. Shout out to I'm a fan. Says a lawsuit coming. It's on its way. It is on the way. Taste the rainbow. Shout out to Antoine with the 2. Says Fanny would be livid if Trump pardoned Thug. Oh! Ooh, can you imagine if Donald Trump did a press conference? Imagine this. Ladies and gentlemen, young Thug was treated unfairly. He went through the same experience I did in Georgia, although I wasn't in jail. I wasn't in that establishment. But what did happen to him is Fonnie Willis, I call her Fanny. She's wrong. She put RICO charges on me. She did it to young Thug, and he did not deserve it at all. So I'm going to go ahead and pardon him to show people that lawfare is not, it's not okay. You know, these people, Can you believe it? They're always coming after me. These people. You know, Young Thug is a fine young man, so I'm going to go ahead and pardon him. Oh, what's happening?
Okay, and just don't show the Zoom box, okay?
Ooh,
All right.
what's going on?
Okay, so, oh, there's Telfair, great. So we'll go ahead and admit him back in. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, so it may be that new offers will be forthcoming to all of the defendants. I mean, these are still very serious charges. I know that some of you all are young. Is Miss Weaver, well, she's.
Miss Weaver.
We
Miss
have to
Weaver's
start
coming
over
back.
'cause we're
In
not
her
taking any of
chucks.
this down. I can't see around all of my various computers to see that she wasn't down there. She did tell me she was running out though, so that's my bad.
Terrell Dark, is he here?
Yes.
Okay. Dark, Judge. Okay.
All right, so the Rule 22
Don't kick us out, Whitaker. Come on.
was filed mere minutes ago.
Oh,
Which is
shit.
why I didn't have any notice of it.
She forwarded me something that was sent last week.
Okay. Well, what I am looking at, actually says that they would like to record proceedings that commence tomorrow. So the only, and that's from Atlanta News First. That's the only one that has been forwarded to me.
Do we need to switch?
Is requesting something starting tomorrow, which obviously would not cover today.
Come on.
And
Want this on the record,
it was forwarded to our public information office at 10:16. So there does not appear to have been any kind of Rule 22 even filed at the time this proceeding started at 9:30. That, regardless, you can tape under the circumstances that you and I already discussed. Just make sure not to show the defendants because they're not dressed out in civilian garb, if you will.
Yeah.
All right.
She's gonna let us
thank you.
in.
All right, we now have our court reporter. And so before we were officially on the record with the court reporter, I had let everybody know about the verdict that it had been returned in the trial that was ongoing until a few minutes ago in Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stillwell's case. And it may be that new offers will be forthcoming to some or all of you. It may not be, I don't know. That is not for me to decide. That is for the state to decide. And the charges against some of you are very serious. Some of you are charged with murders. Some of you are charged with other very serious felonies. Some of you are just charged with RICO or gang counts. Those are serious as well. I don't know if the state is going to regroup and take a new tack. I have no idea. I would imagine they'll be talking. And I'm just wondering if it might be a good idea to set maybe a new date for a final plea again. I know y'all had a final plea once in front of a
All right, guys. So this is actually really good. Let me just explain what we're watching. Shout out to Ms. O. Great question. So we have received a verdict for Yak Gotti and Shannon Stillwell. That has come in and they are going to be released soon. So celebration, yeah, yeah. Now what we are watching is the other defendants in this case, because remember there were 28 at first and a lot of people took plea deals. This is a status hearing for the people that are left that either had their cases severed from the original group or had accepted plea deals. What she's talking about right now is quite interesting because she's saying, given the circumstances, we might be renegotiating some deals. Interesting. And shout out to Miss Weaver. She's back. She's back taking notes. She is back. So that's what we're watching. We're just going to watch the rest of the proceedings. And then, of course, I'm going to let you guys up. Come talk to me. Let me know what you think about this. We're going to have a wonderful afternoon. Let's keep going.
Your judge, it wasn't the judge that was going to preside over the trials. I'm happy to do that, but I kind of am going to need to know sort of how each of these cases is going to progress, if there are going to be charges dropped or null pros, if the state is going to move forward with everything. And if there isn't resolution, then we are going to need to sort out a trial calendar, the time needed to try the case, whether there are any outstanding motions that need to be handled prior to a trial. And then if it's going to be a trial, any motions in limine, and at some point get proposed jury questionnaires and things like that. And it may be that it's a little too early, given the latest developments, for the state to be able to have any answers for that. I see that Mr. Gotti has been abandoned at council table and is sitting there all by himself, having been dragged into the case fairly late in the game, much like
Oh, that's messed
me.
up. They got Abate's, we can't see it. Abate's at the table by himself. All of them left. They left after this marvelous defeat. Let's keep going.
But Mr. Abadi, do you know the answer to any of the
Oh, that's
questions
so
on how
sad.
the state might intend to proceed?
I think some of your assumptions are probably correct. I
Miss
think
Love
a new
left.
date in the future, the near future, would be the most beneficial for all parties to make sure that we're all on the same page. And if there are going to be any new updated offers, we can get those a little time.
That's a good point, Shanta. Maybe
All
they
right,
are with
so
the
let's
victim
look at a
families.
calendar. Yes,
Quick on behalf of
Sure.
Free. We were very close to a resolution today that was essentially a time-served offer. Mr. Winfrey's been in custody for 18 months. We have asked for a slight modification to that offer. I would really like, if possible, because I will go into legislative session too.
Sure.
Mr. Winfrey, it's the holidays, and if he is this close to a time-served offer, I would like some consideration to perhaps get his offer done today. If the state feels like they can do it. I know Adrienne is gone. She's left Mr. Gotti here, but I have been texting with her. We're very close to it.
okay, and that's fine with me, and I'm here all day, and I'm willing to entertain anybody's offers. So,
Listen, this judge she's had it. She's tired. She's like, I'm ready for Christmas. Look at the eyes. She's tired. She just said that she's willing to entertain anybody's offers. She is so done. Y'all saw that, I think it came out a few weeks ago. There was a comedian, I forget his name. He had done like a stand-up bit, and it was like 40 minutes long on this YSL trial. And he kept saying that the judge is always like, she's always exhausted and tired. I mean, you can see the exhaustion. Wow. And they should probably do Moon Tung's deal over, because that one is ridiculous. But let's keep going. Maybe we might hear something, because he is one of the other defendants. So let's go.
In my, I guess, communication with Ms. Miller, I don't know if we're right there as it relates to the updated offer.
okay.
But I think if your honor is available this week at another time, there's a court appearance that we could do, whether it be via Zoom, to take a plea. It sounds like the time is not the issue, it's the specific charges.
Okay, so, and I would assume all of the attorneys know what the pleas were for Mr. Nichols, Mr. Huey, and Mr. Ryan as well. I can certainly be available tomorrow. If you will recall
Shout out
our
to Josh Johnson.
discussions at the bench, I'm not sure about.
Man, I might have to call Angela and I might have to call Westmoreland. Let's go back. I think she said that she's willing to relook at those deals too. Does that mean that she'll look at thugs again? Yo, let's go back. Oh my God, let's go back. Let's go back. This is so exciting. This is like the Super Bowl for legal nerds.
This close to a time served offer, I would like some consideration to perhaps get his offer done today. If the state feels like they can do it, I know Adrienne is gone. She's left Mr. Gotti here, but I have been texting with her. We're very close, Judge.
Okay, and that's fine with me, and I'm here all day, and I'm willing to entertain anybody's offers. So,
I have no issue with that. In my, I guess, communication with Ms. Miller, I don't know if we're right there as it relates to the updated offer.
okay.
But I think if your honor is available this week at another time, if there's a court appearance that we can do, whether it be via Zoom, to take a plea. It sounds like the time is not the issue, it's the specific charges.
Okay, so, and I would assume all of the attorneys know what the pleas were for Mr. Nichols, Mr. Huey, and Mr. Ryan as well. I can certainly be available tomorrow. If you will recall our discussions at the bench, I'm not sure about my availability after that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
But yeah, certainly, y'all work on that, and like I said, I'll be here all day tomorrow, and on and off, I have a couple of other things on my calendar tomorrow, but should be here for most of the day tomorrow as well. Does anybody else have an offer outstanding, or is everybody wanting to sort of wait on what might be coming forth new? Everybody wants to wait. I would too. Okay. Is it premature to discuss length of trial if there is going to be a trial for any of these defendants? And if it is, that's fine. We can reconvene.
I mean, I think it would, my estimation would be no more than 90 days. That would be my estimation.
I think that is a reasonable estimation. Okay. All right. So why don't we look at the calendar and pick a date before the holidays? Would that be reasonable, Mr. Abadi, to think about a final plea date before the holidays?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is everybody going to be around like December 18th, which is a little over 2 weeks from now? Would that be a good day for everybody? People are kind of nodding yeses. Okay. All right. Why don't we set?
Judge, I have a calendar on the 18th. I don't know if that.
All right. We could do the 17th. How about the 17th instead? That's 2 weeks from today. All right. Why don't we set a final plea calendar for all of the defendants in this case for December 17th, and we can maybe know some more by then, and even for the people who aren't going to enter any type of a resolution at that point, we can talk a little more intelligently about what it's going to look like to move forward. But to the extent that there is going to be a trial for anybody, I mean, I'm thinking sooner rather than later. The facts and the evidence, some of the charges against these defendants are different than some of the charges that were in the case as it existed with the last 6, but a lot of them are the same, and I think the state should be pretty ready to go. So I'm envisioning, like, by February, we'd be trying the next case to the extent that we're going to be trying any cases.
Yes, Your Honor. Eric Johnson for Mr.
Yes, sir.
The question that I would have, Your Honor, is...
Do me a favor and talk into the mic, because we do have people on Zoom, and it's easier for them to hear.
Yes,
Thanks.
Your Honor.
You can pick it up if you want. You're kind of tall. I don't think you want to hunch over like
Eric
that.
Johnson for Mr. Eppinger. The question that I had, Your Honor, is, given the timing and scheduling that we're talking about, how long would it take for the transcript of the prior trial to be prepared? Because I know that there were certain witnesses that testified in the prior trial whose testimony may be used again in additional trial.
So it would,
trial.
yeah, and it's a good point. It would probably, to the extent anybody knows which witnesses, that would be helpful so that the court reporter or court reporters can focus on that.
Now, y'all remember the YSL defendant that shot the cop, Briss, and that was disturbing. Oh my God, do y'all remember that body cam footage? So we saw Briss shoot a cop, and the cop survived. I think he was shot 5 times. And we looked at like surveillance footage from multiple angles. We saw him literally pull out a gun and like shoot this cop. So cop goes down, and then Briss runs into his house, and they ended up like extracting him with like a tactical team. The police pulled him out. Now, that's a pretty heavy charge. The person that's speaking right now, and you know, the defendants are in jumpsuits. That's why they're not being shown on camera. Like if they were properly dressed, we'd be able to see them. The person that's speaking right now is Briss's lawyer. And he is talking about, you know, when is this trial transcript going to be ready? Because you guys had all those cops talking about him, and Briss wasn't one of these 6 defendants. So if you're going to use that, I want this transcript. So Ms. Weaver and our other favorite court reporter with the curls, right? And then our other, shout out to Petty Pendergrass, I forget the 1940s court reporter with the hair. The 3 of them have to quickly put together the trial transcript, make sure that it is proofread, it is ready, it is presentable, and then that is distributed to the attorneys. Here's the other thing that we heard that Whitaker is trying to organize right now. She has a date for final plea deals for all of the other defendants. Since Briss is in the room, maybe we might hear something about Moontung. She is willing to relook at all of these plea deals, which is great, and that's going to be on December 17th. Now, the people that reject the plea deals and they are willing to have their own trials or start a new trial, that looks like they're talking about February. So y'all thought we were done? No, we're not. There's still a lot. There's still a lot to cover here because I want to take it over the goal line. It's 28 people, right? And when she's talking about December 17th, she is also willing to look at Nichols' plea deal. Is he still in jail? Huey's plea deal. He's still in jail. And then Angela was here. We talked to Angela about Little Rod's plea deal, right? Because remember, Little Rod has such an interesting outcome. You know, like there was flaws in the investigation for his case. But the big thing is that in this case, the only charge he had was count 1. RICO. So the fact that she's going to look at this, I think Whitaker, to my surprise, is trying to make some of this stuff right. Let's keep going.
Testimony instead of just starting from day 1 and going all the way through. Because I think if we do day 1 all the way through, it's going to be a while. And the court reporters would probably like a holiday as well. So be thinking about if you all are thinking I'm going to trial, be thinking about which of the witnesses' testimony you would like, and then we can have the court reporters focus on those.
And I guess my question, because it's likely Mr. Eppinger will be proceeding to trial, notwithstanding whatever happens resulting from this verdict, is the court going to take into consideration the time that the court reporter would need to prepare that in the scheduling the...
Well, I'll have to.
Okay. But I will inform her as to which specific witnesses, the testimony that I need.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other kind of procedural matters? Does anybody have motions outstanding? You shouldn't, because you've already been to a final plea, but...
Your Honor, I will likely have a plea in guard. Is that something that we could argue on the 17th?
Get it filed, and I don't know if anything, I mean, I'll have to look, and I'm sure the state might have a response, but yeah, we can go ahead and take care of that, whether it's substantively or on some sort of a other basis. We'll handle that. But please get it filed like before the end of this week.
Understood.
And Your Honor, I know that Mr. Evans does have a previously filed immunity motion that would need to be heard at some point in time.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why nobody else has heard that already.
It was filed.
Did you all have a final plea date without that having been heard?
It was never called for a hearing. It was filed quite a while ago before his case was severed on the initial trial. So that would need to be heard at some point. That may be dispositive of some of the
Okay,
facts.
how quick, it may be, it may not be. How quickly could the state and the defense be ready to have that heard? Because that may be something we can hear before the holidays. Maybe.
I guess I don't know what the immunity motion was.
Microphone.
I mean, I assume he's charged with shooting 2 police officers, right?
That is correct, Your Honor. And that is the circumstance under which the testimony from the prior trial will be
Right.
needed to possibly impeach the witness at that immunity.
So you'd like that even by the time of the immunity motion or the immunity hearing?
I just need the immunity hearing scheduled at a time in which I can obtain that, Your Honor. That would be.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is you'd like the transcript, or at least a rough of the transcript of, well, you'd need an official transcript to impeach them, of whichever witnesses those are. So you can go ahead and get me and the court reporters a list of those witnesses by the end of the day today,
Yes, Your Honor.
so that they can be focused on that. And then I will find out from them their time estimate, and we'll set the immunity hearing at a time after those transcripts are available.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the immunity motion is related to
So it would be related to the shooting of the 2 officers, so,
the state to be ready tomorrow.
okay. Well, we can't have the transcripts ready tomorrow, but I hear you. So we'll be waiting on the transcripts, and as soon as those are available, we can set that.
I don't think he has an immunity right as it relates to the shooting of the 2 officers with a arrest warrant, which they were trying to execute on Mr. Evans. It's like a waste of the court's time, but.
So I don't want to get into substance now, but if the state has not filed a written response and would like to, go ahead and get that in by the end of the week.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anybody else with outstanding motions?
Your Honor, not an outstanding motion. Back here, Attorney Terrell Dart for Mr. McMullen. I was just appointed and filed an entry on this case August 5th.
Heard.
So I don't have any
Denise.
discovery or anything.
Oh, okay, so this is good. Now I'm listening to their introductions. Now, Lead would love this. Remember how there is a gentleman named Demise McMullen? That's whose attorney is speaking right now. These are some heavy hitters in the case. Now, his nickname, I believe, was Nard. So this is, Lead calls him Demise, even though his name is Demise. That's this attorney that's speaking right now. Let's keep going.
Concerned, trying to be ready by February to try this.
Oh,
case.
you can get ready by February. You're a defense attorney.
I hear you, Your Honor. I'm just letting the court know.
This is going to be a 90-day trial this time, not a 2-year trial.
I hear you.
And I am sure that Mr. Abadi will provide you with all of the discovery. It's in about 1 million Dropbox links, but I bet he'll consolidate it into one for you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And frankly, whomever the prior attorney was on the case really should already have discovery, and it's their responsibility to provide that to you. Do you know who the prior attorney was?
Your Honor, I have no idea who that may have been.
I mean, I don't either offhand, but that might be a route to go as well. But Mr. Abadi will get it to you. What else?
Your Honor, I have a request on behalf of Mr. Mender.
Yes, ma'am.
Nicole Fagan on behalf of Mr. Mender. If we are going to have another final plea on the 17th, if we could request that the state have all offers, whatever's on the table by the 14th, so that we can communicate, so it doesn't happen in the rush of the moment.
Sure. Yeah, I guess we're not in my regular courtroom, and this it's not my regular team of people, but my rule is that the state needs to have the final offers to communicated to the defense at least 2 business days in advance of the final plea. The 14th is actually a Saturday, so let's say by close of business the 13th, 5 p.m. on the
thanks, Kat.
13th, all offers need to be communicated. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, who is Melissa Reynolds in the waiting room? Anybody know? It could be somebody with I guess, one of the prisons, so let me go ahead and admit them and see. Yes, is that Mr. Adams? Okay, all right, well, I'm sorry that he missed most of the status conference, but you can update him, and are you able, I think that all of the prisons have the ability to let y'all Zoom privately with attorney and client?
They do, Judge, we can set up a legal conference, so.
Okay, and I can even leave y'all, if you'd like, in a breakout room after this is over with, so you can catch
That would be great.
him up. I think we can do that. My staff attorney is saying, no, we can't. Why can we not?
Okay, I think we've accumulated some TiVo time, so I'm gonna skip all
Need to
that.
join the Zoom.
All right, here we go.
Just when we're finished, you would just need to join the Zoom on your phone, and you can step into that little conference room back there so that you can talk privately, and y'all will be in a breakout room, so only the 2 of you will be able to hear what's going on. Okay, so Mr. Adams, your attorney's going to catch you up with what you missed. We've basically just been talking about scheduling. We haven't discussed anything substantive. All right, so I think that's it, and we will see everybody back here.
Last thing, one more thing, I'm sorry.
Yes, no problem.
Your Honor, upon Mr. Mender's severance, we didn't receive any new discoveries. So I'm not sure if any new discoveries outstanding, and I can't speak for any other attorney on the case, but everyone here has been severed. So I don't know if everyone has everything.
All right, why don't I ask Mr. Body, can you just gather up all the discovery and maybe, in order to make sure that everybody has everything, just reserve on everybody?
Yes, Judge.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, anything else? All right, thank y'all for your time, and we'll reconvene on December 17th. I'll see everybody back then. Thank you.
All right, guys. Wow, that is it. That is it. It looks like there is a juror interview, and it is on Miss Sylvia's channel, and there's also Dennis's channel. Let me just check Dennis's channel. I know he won't mind if I use that. But there is a juror, hold on, that he talked to. I don't know, you guys are saying, I don't see it on there. I'll send him a message. I'll send him a message, guys, just to make sure. But here's where we are. So the verdict came in. We have Yak Gotti not guilty on all charges. Okay, we have Shannon Stillwell, who is guilty on 1 count. She did the sentencing right there and then, but he got time served for the remaining amount of time that he's already done. Okay, so that's all set. I am going to look at where we can see some of the juror interviews, right? There is also a press conference that's happening. I just sent a message to Doug. I don't know if I can get him today, but sometime this week. And then I also sent a message to Max as well. Max, I talked to in September when we did the Best of Max Shard video. So that is an interview I've been holding onto for a little bit of time. And, you know, Doug has been on the channel before. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure that they're getting slammed with requests for interviews. And you guys know Ashley's coming next week. So pretty action-packed week for us. We're going to be talking to everybody, kind of dissecting this, looking at what happened here. I want to watch that closing argument one more time. I do. But I did promise you guys that you would be able to come up. So let me read these super chats. I'm gonna drop the link. Y'all can come up and we could talk about it as a group. Maybe I'll let 3 or 4 of y'all up at the same time and we could talk, just have a conversation. And then I think before we end, I definitely want to see the closing argument again. I want to see Simone Hilton hollering in red. I want to go back to what she said these people would be guilty of. I want to look at all the passion that she put into that. Because here's the thing. Closing arguments do require some passion. They do. You are trying to convince a jury box of 12 people to convict people of crimes. You do need to do that. So I will be fair and say that. She did need to go a little, she did need to put some theatrics in there, but I mean, sis went ham. I mean, she went ham. Ham. All right, let me read this, drop the link so y'all can come up, and then we will watch the closing argument. If you know where I can find stuff, it is helpful for me, guys. Usually when Lead and I are doing stuff, you'll notice that like I'll be on screen kind of gathering things while he's talking. We usually work as a team, but I'm solo today, so that means I might need y'all's help, okay? I'm not even gonna lie. Shout out to Antoine with the 2, says Fonnie would be livid if Trump pardoned Thug. Oh,
I didn't make these things up.
what is happening on Law and Crime?
It's going to be stuff that the state provided to
Oh, that's a different case. Sorry. I just heard something in my ear. I was like, what is going on? All right. Shout out to Antoine with the 2, says Fonnie would be livid if Trump pardoned Thug. And some of y'all have made some corrections. Yes, pardons happen on the federal level, not on the state level. So we know that. I hope you liked my Trump impression. Shout out to Sam, who's been a member for a month, says Kayla about to be covered in slime. Listen, they're married. People do what they do, Shout out to Authentic with the 2, who says free Moontung. Yes, I was curious to see if we were going to hear from Moongtung's lawyer in that plea discussion that we just talked about. Hopefully we see him on December 17th. So I'll definitely be streaming that. Shout out to the one, the only, Miss Marie with the 10 says, Fonnie, you're a loser. Again, preserve your documents, ma'am. Trump 2024. Guys, this is going to be an interesting year. Because that Trump case is still open. It's still open. So we're going to see what happens. Shout out to Medina with the 2, says, I'm Puerto Rican, but from New York. So Nigerican, New York Rican? Oh, I've never heard of that. But I love that. Well, shout out to the Puerto Ricans in the North. Shout out to Antoine with the 2, says, longest trial in Georgia history ends in not guilty. I mean, yeah, that's what happened. Shout out to Spittin' Fire with the 10, says, tell Kayla her hubby needs some pee. It's been 2 years. Spittin' Fire ain't playing with y'all. She's like, I'm sure Kayla's getting lots of messages and requests as well to talk about what's going on. So shout out to her for sticking through this and all of that good stuff. Shout out to Bev with the 5, says, the only party that seems to be guilty of RICO is Fonnie. I mean, they abandoned the prosecution table. Abate was there by himself. But at the same time, let's be fair. There are a lot of victims of these crimes, so the Drinks family was probably there, right? And that's the thing. Not only is this a failure on the prosecution side, what is their job? Their job is to get justice for the victims of crimes. And I think Shamel Drink's aunt was on Miss Sylvia's channel. I watched it. It's a few weeks back. She sent it to me. And she had shared that the aunt had concerns about the state not doing their job and getting justice correctly. The aunt had concerns about that. And it is really sad. It's sad to see what happened to Mr. Drinks, but at the same time, get the right person. Get the right person that did the crime and be sure about it. That's what the investigation process is. You need to be sure about it. You need to have open and shut pieces of evidence. Open and shut case, Johnson. So although we're looking at the prosecution side, this really is on APD too. I mean, this is actually a very poor reflection of these detectives that had all of this pride, all of these gang experts, all of these, McDonald's pieces of footage that were like missing. Brian Steele asks about that damn video every day. Where was the McDonald's footage? And, you had notes. I forget which detective it was, but you threw them out. Like, this is a poor reflection of law enforcement, at least in Atlanta. You know, I think I told you guys recently I went to Arizona and I have a friend that works for the FBI. We were talking about this case and he was like, that's so, like, why? Other law enforcement professionals are looking at what transpired with these detectives and it's embarrassing, you know? So thank you so much, Bev. You are not lying with that one. 7 gram sandwich with the 5 says Steele had said Thug was having medical issues. Yeah, you guys saw the weight fluctuation, and you're right. Steele did say that there was some health stuff happening. I think that's why Young Thug wanted to be released. But at the same time, he's actually like doing what he said he was going to do. I saw a clip of him actually speaking to people at a law school. Brian Steele was speaking at a local law school in the Atlanta area, had Young Thug on FaceTime, and they were talking about the importance of advocacy and having, you know, being good attorneys. Whether you're on the defense side or the prosecution side, it is important to advocate in the right way. So I'm so happy that, you know, Thug is doing that type of work already. So shout out to him. And thank you so much, 7 gram swish. I said sandwich. 7 gram swish. Thank you. Shout out to Lori Loves Montana with the 10 says still wondering where the watch is. We didn't find out what happened to it. Interesting. Shout out to Shanta with the 5 says Dennis Byron on Twitter interviewing a juror. Oh, he's on Twitter doing it. Yeah, he's got about like 10,000 people over there. That's a pretty big crowd. Yeah, but it is feeding from his YouTube channel. He did have. Shout out to Dennis. He had Doug Weinstein outside for a live reaction. Yeah, let me send a message to Dennis, guys, just to make sure it's okay. I like to like really respect people's platforms, so when he responds, I'll let you guys know. But thank you so much, Shanta. Shout out to May May with the 10 says Rico, Fonnie, and Wade, Mr. President. Listen, May May is on it. Thank you so much. Shout out to M Medina again with another 2 says Rico long gone, but what about the watch? We're all looking for the watch. What happened to the watch? Shout out to C Nothing with no comment, no question, pure love of the game. Thank you so much, sis. Appreciate the support. D is in here with another 2 says no evidence equals no case. And we saw that. The jurors saw that. Shout out to Chero Empress with the 2 says I sent you a petition for mooktochange.org. Yes, thank you. I did see that. I've got so many notifications right now. I did see that. Some of you guys are sending me Miss Sylvia stuff, but again, I just want to make sure that they're okay with it. You know, we all work hard as content creators, so I'm sending them all messages to make sure that it's okay that I can stream it too. So stay tuned for that one, guys. Shout out to YSL Quez with the 2 says, where's the watch, Viverito? We're all looking for the watch. And hang on to that question, guys, because if Doug comes, we're going to talk about this watch. We're going to talk about it because it's like, where did that evidence go? Wasn't it bagged? Wasn't it supposed to be labeled and all of a sudden it's gone? Craziness. Shout out to Low Division with the 10 says, can Thug appeal his probation? Well, here's the thing. Notice that she didn't say his name. She said Huey, she said Nichols, and Little Rod. I wonder why she didn't say Thug's name, but I'm pretty sure if that was an option, you guys know Brian and Mr. Adams are going to be on top of it. So very, very cool stuff. Thank you so much, Low Division. Great question. Shout out to Menthman with the 2 says her name is Jasmine Knight. Oh, so this is a young lady that was at the table. I really do enjoy her outfits. She seems like a sweetheart. And, you know, she's been there at that table almost every single day. This is the young lady that was at the prosecutor's table. Shout out to Too Busy with a 5 says, when Hilton uses R. Kel's meme, use your common sense. I know they were cooked, not guilty. I mean, even with the questions, I do think that there was somebody that really wanted to hold Shannon accountable for some things, because you guys remember those questions from yesterday? Like, somebody wanted it, you know? Shout out to TMH Child with the 10, drops a super sticker. Did you change your name? I recognize your picture. I think you changed your name. Thank you so much. Oh my God, guys, look, this is my best friend. Shout out. Listen, could y'all type Black Baller in the chat? He dropped a $5 super chat. This is the first time you sent me a super chat, buddy. Thank you. He says, much love and respect, AV. We love your coverage on this trial. Listen, guys, this is my dog. We have been friends forever, since I was 16. That's like 20 years. We're getting old, buddy. Shout out to Black Baller, guys. Like, this is my dog, okay? So it's so good to see everybody coming out, showing the love today. Thank you guys so much for shouting him out. Shout out to Mixed Chick with the 5, says Yak and Shannon are finally free. Salute to Doug and Max. Yes, and stay tuned, guys. I'm waiting to hear back from them. If they will come on the channel, I will let you guys know later this week. Shout out to Michelle, who's been a member for 8 months, says, praising God and crying with tears. Merry Christmas earlier, AV7 in chat. Yeah, just in time for the holidays. Imagine being incarcerated and you're finally free and you can come out and spend Christmas with your family. That is amazing. So great for pointing that out, Michelle. Thank you. Shout out to Mama D's, been a member for a month, says, woohoo for Yak and Shannon. That's right, we're cheering them on at home. Buddy305 is back with another 5, says Rico sent over some sour grapes to the DA's office while eating Doug's freshly made nothing burger. This verdict made my day, didn't it? Didn't it? Like, I was so excited earlier, guys. Like, it was amazing. Shout out to Now What Now with the 20, says, does Shannon get to move to Texas with Kayla and live in newlywed bliss? Well, I hope, I would imagine that that is a possibility, but you guys know, like, sometimes with these things, there are terms and conditions. The judge didn't mention that. You have to remember they're different states. So since he has probation, it really is going to be dependent on what the terms of his probation are. Now, remember, we've looked at some of these plea deals. We've looked at some of these, arrangements for probation where some provisions are that you cannot leave the state. So, I don't know if it's going to be in Texas. Kayla might have to come back to Atlanta, but it really depends on what that document looks like. Keeping an eye on Thugger Daily on this side, guys, because if any new documents drop, we can look at them together as well. So thank you so much, and great question. Now what now? Shout out to a girl from Texas with a 5, says, I'm happy and sad. Y'all ninjas better add me and stay in touch for a chat reunion. YSL AV in the chatterhood. I love y'all. We love you, AV Slatty. Listen, another favorite moment is when they actually played Bad Boy by Juice WRLD in the courtroom, and I loved it. I loved it. I'm gonna come over to, you guys are sending me emails. We'll check that out in a second. Let me just continue on with this, but thank you guys so much for the emails and helping out. Shout out to Quay Ingram, another Quay, who's been a member for 2 months, says, road to 100K. The other streamers are not like you. Listen, they not like us. They are not like us. We do our thing over here. And yes, I am focusing on getting to that number very, very soon, guys. The more work I put into this channel, the faster we're going to get there. And all of you are helping me with that. Every time you like, comment, subscribe, whatever you can do, you're helping out in that effort, and you're a big part of the journey. So thank you for hanging out with me. Really. Thank you, Quay, for 2 months of your time. I appreciate that. Shout out to Edwin, who's been a member for 5 months, who says, free at last. Edwin, we've been watching this trial for so long. So long. Thank you so much, Edwin. A girl from Texas gifted one of y'all a membership. Thank you so much, a girl from Texas. And I hope if you received it, you said thank you. And also shout out to the people that receive memberships. They don't know who gifted it to them, but they always come back and leave a comment and say, hey, thanks to whoever gifted it. So if you're a gifter, know that people are very appreciated. So thank you, appreciative. Thank you so much, a girl from Texas. Said became a member. Look at my dog, Scooby. Scooby with the 10 says, we watched the same process and never found Rico. Glad the jury saw what we saw. I'm not saying these guys are innocent, but all the defendants were not guilty. Yeah, I mean, at least for count 1, organized crime, Young Thug being the wolf of the pack, or whatever Love said, like all of that craziness. Hannibal, good to see you. Hannibal with the 20 says, for the love, great job, AV. I learned too much here. Y'all, listen, y'all got so good while we were watching this trial. We would watch it, and some of y'all would object correctly before the lawyers did. I've done my job. My work here is done. Y'all would be sitting there like 403 cumulative, waste of time. I'm like, look at our chat. They're so good. Shout out to MT. Is this Moontoon? MT? No. Shout out to MT with the 5 says, Detective Burrito can go ever smug stuff. How do you think all those people that gave attitudes and she was full of herself. And then, getting into a beef with Kayla, calling her a hoe, having Doug repeat that. Like, what is going on? Craziness. Shout out to MT Moontuk. But thank you so much. Shout out to D with the 2, says Fulton County needs an overhaul from DA to jail. Something need to be done. And I'm dead serious, guys. As a taxpayer, you take money out of my paychecks for that? I want my money back. They sent me a bill the other day, like, hey, even though you're not in Georgia right now, you still gotta pay these taxes. Give me my money back. Like, we should get refunds. I mean, we do, income tax refunds, but I want my money back. Scott A with the 5 says Doug would have been convicted of the drug and gun charges and maybe even RICO because of Obama's phone call. He did the right thing. Thank you, Scott, for that perspective. And that's why I wanted to poll you guys to see what you think. Should Doug have waited? Should he not have waited? Scott's bringing us a different perspective. Thank you so much, Scott A. Shout out to Michelle with the 5 says, so happy for the guys. I think we all are. We really are, Michelle. We've watched this debauchery go on for far too long. Hair Alchemist, good to see you with the 2, says the DA's whole team is punching the air till tomorrow. Do you guys think that they're going to do a press conference? That would be funny if Fonnie came out. She did do an interview 2 days after Thug was released. I showed it to y'all, but it was interesting. The Pat app with the 5 says, AV, did the judge really say she'll reconsider the other pleas? Yup. I thought she was just telling the attorneys to be aware. No, she set a date for it. And she says she's willing to entertain it. So we will be back, Pat, on December 17th and see what happens. Maybe you get some more people out of jail. Interesting, right? Shout out to Mina. Good to see you, sis. She has been a member for 3 months. I love that pose. Every time I see Mina's picture, I just want to pose like that. Thank you so much, Mina. Shout out to FTH Poetry with the 5 says, I guess Rico was the subscribers and friends made along the way. I mean, where was it? And I'm going to ask Ashley this on Monday. And, I got to put the post up. So if y'all have questions for Ashley, we can start to get them together. I want to ask Ashley what the outcome of this case is and what it means for the Trump RICO case. Oh, can you imagine, guys? Shout out to Money Business Management with the 20 says, where is Judge Glanville? Where? All that hooting and hollering and trying to put Brian Steele in jail. Where is Glanville? Interesting. I would love to know that. But thank you so much, Money Business Management. Super generous of you. Somebody had something else. Here we go. I love this comment. MSJTV says, this case really brought all of us together. It did. It did. It really did. We built a community, built a community over on Lead Side, came over here. We hang out over here from time to time. It's amazing. It is amazing what the power of community can do. All right, let me come to emails because y'all are lighting me up. Okay, we're scrolling all the way to the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Shout out to Marie, who was the first person to tell me that the verdict came out. She sent me $1 and says, think they have a verdict, double check. Thank you so much, Marie. She also hit me with a super chat over here as well. Shout out to Liz with the $1 says, Hilton's buffoonery and Love's incompetence is not G. I agree, sis. And while I'm on it, I am going to drop the link if y'all want to come up and talk for a little bit and state your opinions. You can do that. And the link is now in the chat and pinned to the top. All right, so I'm going to keep going. If y'all are interested in coming up and talking to me, sharing your opinion with the Chatterhood, the door is open. Liz hits me with another $1, says prosecutor wanted max sentence. Judge said okay to probation. Yeah, I do remember that. Liz is back with the dancing emojis and the snake emojis. Slatty. Hits me with another $1, says Thug did the right thing because it keeps him away from trouble. Yeah, and some of y'all have really interesting perspectives on should he have waited or should he not have waited. We heard that from Scott A earlier, so Liz, it looks like concurs. Yes, I do have a link to Moon Tunk's mother has a YouTube channel and she has a petition for his release. It would be great to post it. All right, yeah, I'll look into that. And if anything, I'll put it on my community tab as well, because guys, like what happened to Moon Tunk is really, he didn't say what Miss Love wanted him to say. And he was one of the only people to stand up for himself. And they looked at that combativeness as violating the terms of his probation, because part of the terms of his probation was he needed to or not probation, plea deal is he needed to testify truthfully. And it came out that he was unsure about one of the clauses, and he was honest about that. Monktunk has like 9 kids. He's got grandkids. I think he might have the most kids out of all these defendants. So the fact that his mother is trying to get the word out that what happened to her son is not right, you know, it's crazy. And Nicole, I agree with you. I think his attorney could have done a better job. You know, he did say like, oh, you know, I should have checked the document. He admitted that. And shout out to Danielle, our master investigator. We found some stuff on that attorney, but I'm not even gonna get into it. Shout out to Chantel with $1, says, go to Sylvia's channel. She's about to talk to a juror. Yeah, I sent, I'm gonna send her a text, and same thing with Dennis. I just wanna be sure with them that they're okay with me streaming their stuff, guys. It's just a content creator respecting. So thank you. Cecilia sent me a few links as well. Thank you. And then shout out to Freddie with the 5, says Viverito versus Kayla on pay-per-view. Sign me up. Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Shout out to Hair Alchemist with another 2, says introduce me to Rico. It's about to be cold. Yeah, that's right. And then lastly, shout out to For Always, Forever, For Life, who has been a member for 5 months. She says, I'm so glad for the verdict. The trial wasn't fair. It was not. That being said, and the link is pinned, guys, so if you want to come up to the chatter hood and state your opinion, you can do that. Don't be nervous. We don't bite. We don't bite hard, but we don't bite. That link is pinned to the top of the chat. What I'd love to do real quick is I want to go back to Simone Hilton's closing argument. I mean, we're just gonna go back. Think about it. Red. Okay, let's go to Atlanta News first. We're gonna share screen. Is that an email? Okay, let's look at this again, guys. I think it was right around, she went in for a few hours. It was a hell of a closing. I am gonna do it sped up because it's funnier. But here we go. Verdict's in the description box if you are looking for the specifics. We're gonna do it on 1.5. Let's watch debauchery again. Thank you very much. All right, Ms. Hill.
Really, I know y'all tired. And I get the harsh responsibility of closing you out for the next couple of, for a little while, I'm gonna say how long. For a little while. And I just want you all to bear with me, and bear with us as a team. Mr. Agnes told you this morning that it was kind of like that marathon. They were kind of at that last spot, right before the finish line. And I know this has been a long trial, and like every one of us has said, we thank you for your sacrifice. We know that we have taken you away from family, friends, trips, work, maybe y'all didn't want to work, but from work, to be here with us. And so we're going to ask of you just to bear with us for a little while longer. Now, Mr. Weinstein said something very interesting as he closed. He said something to the effect of, the state should be ashamed of themselves for targeting people of color. And I was a little taken aback. Why? Because I am a person of color. The majority of this prosecution team are people of color. And we are not targeting people of color. We are targeting gang members who decided to wreak havoc on communities in Fulton County. And the ironic part of the community that they violated were those communities were communities of color. See, no one rarely talks about the victims in this case. But the victims in this case, most of them are people of color. Because in Fulton County, you don't get to victimize anyone in our county without being held accountable for your actions. And what we're going to ask of you today is hold both.
Guys, guess what? Max responded. He said he's gonna come on the channel. Yes, awesome. Okay. I'm so excited. So we got Max Shard coming this week, and we have Ashley next week. The little channel that could is growing. Oh my God, guys. I'm so excited. So I am going to schedule that with him. You know what? Put your questions in the chat right now. We got to get ready. Let's go back to this debauchery, but I'm so excited. Let's keep going.
Both of these defendants accountable for their actions because they are guilty of every single crime for which they are charged. But as both Mr. Shard and Mr. Weinstein were talking, I was reminded that what is right is often forgotten or what's convenient. And see, in this case for them, it's convenient to blame Copeland for the murder of Deomonte Thomas. Well, we're going to talk about that. That doesn't even make sense. For them, it is convenient to tell you that we have not met the elements of RICO because they're just not a gang. They just get YSL tatted on them. They just get snakes tatted on them just for the fun of it. That's convenient for them, but that's not the truth. And while it may have taken some time for us to get all that evidence out here, it took a while. Some days the evidence came out good. Some days the evidence came out bad. Some days I had to take a couple of breaks. At the end of the day, the evidence shows what is clear. YSL is a gang. YSL is an enterprise. They commit criminal street gang activity. They murdered Deomonte Thomas, murdered Chanel Drinks, and they're guilty. And then I'm also reminded of a story that a colleague told me a long time ago about someone who works as a border patrol officer. And this person worked as a border patrol officer for a number of years. And while they were working border patrol, a guy would come through the border with a red bike every day. And every day that that person would come through with the red bike, he had a basket on the front of the bike. And inside of the basket was some food. Now, every day this guy would come through, and the border patrol officer thought something was kind of fishy, but he never found anything. He always found baskets with sand inside. This happened for a few months. Well, one day, the border patrol guy was leaving that job. He was going to a new job, and he was at a bar. And who walked into the bar? The guy with the red bike. So the border patrol guy says to him, I'm getting ready to leave my job, but I'm interested. There's something was fishy about that red bike. What are you doing with that red bike? And the guy was like, nothing, don't worry about it. Congratulations to you. The night proceeded. The border patrol guy got some more joints in his system and said, you know what? Can you tell me about this red bike? Because something just doesn't seem right. Every time I would see the red bike, it would have sand in the basket. Tell me what was going on. Guys, don't worry about it. Finally, ended up. Border patrol guy is really sophisticated. He said, just tell me. I'm not going to remember what happened. You're not going to get in trouble. Tell me what you were doing. And what the guy said was, you know how every day you were focused on the basket with the sand? I was smuggling in a new red bike every single day. So you were so focused on what was in the basket that you was missing what was right in front of you. And if you listen to what the defense counsel told you for the last about 3.5 hours that they argued, you're going to miss what's right in front of you. So what's sand in the basket in this case? First things first, stolen jewelry. APD, somebody stole this watch. No one stole the watch. The watch is left back in the house. But they want you to focus on this watch, because if you focus on the watch, you're going to miss the evidence in front of you.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Talk about no reports. No, Marino, she didn't write any reports. Well, what she told you is she wrote her information in the affidavits. Affidavits that get sworn before a judge. Probably better than reports because a judge has to actually read that information. But if you focus on the fact that they're reading and writing reports, you're going to miss it right in front of you. Mr. Weinstein talked about length of time. We talked about it. Knowledge of co-conspirators. I think at one point in time, Mr. Shard said, Mr. Minor, who stabbed Lucci, he doesn't know Mr. Kendrick or Mr. Stillwell? Maybe not. But he knows Khalif Adams, who's the one who helped set up stabbing Lucci. Khalif Adams knows those two. Well, knows Mr. Stillwell. Khalif Adams knows Garlington. And so some way, somehow, though, Mr. Stillwell knew on February 9th that Lucci got stabbed. Well, how does he know that? How is that in a text message? That wasn't broadcast to the world. So this idea that just because Mr. Meyer doesn't know him specifically does not mean that they're not guilty of the crime which they committed. They talk about witness credibility, specifically about experts and what our experts say. But if you go back to any of our experts' testimony, Belknap, Dennis, Gaither, Underwood, the things that they talked about, there were examples of it. They talked about why it was a hybrid gang. It was Blood and Crips, and they kind of got together. Well, we know that because Martinez Arnold's a Crip. Some of them, Mr. Williams was a Blood. You saw when we talked about sex, money, murder. You see them hanging out together. You see them committing crimes together. Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Arnold in a car with guns on their way to Trestle Street. We can infer to go shoot it up. That's what they talk about when they say it's a hybrid gang. They talk about the music, and we're going to get to the music in a minute. They talk about the fact that gang members use their music in order to brag, promote what they've done in the gang. And we'll see examples of that in a moment. We talked about your duty earlier today, but again, just to be reminded, you're supposed to be a fair and impartial juror, honestly seeking the truth. You are not to seek doubt. So when you go into fact, you're supposed to say to yourself, what happened on January 10th? What is the truth about that? And is there evidence towards the truth? That is what you're here for. Seek the truth, you follow the law, and you deliberate. Now, I want to tell you this. If you go to the bank to deliberate, and one of your numbers says, I'm not deliberating, I'm going into the bathroom, I'm not doing any of this, you need to bring that to the deputy's attention so they can bring it to the court's attention. Because you have a duty to deliberate. A duty to sit down, evaluate the facts, evaluate the evidence, and apply it to the law. So let's talk about the evidence of the defendant's guilt. So earlier this morning, Mr. Adkins talked to you about count 57, participation in criminal street gang activity. He talked to you about count 1, conspiracy to violate the RICO Act, and counts 50 and 51. I'm not going to harp on that again, but I thought it interesting when Mr. Weinstein said, well, we haven't proved counts 50 and 51 and 57. You know, the state, they're all dressed in red. We are. Red's probably my favorite color. But you know the one thing that's different? We don't do criminal gang activity. And the court's going to define what that is. See, we're not here because people wear the same colors. They can wear all the greens they want. They can wear all the snakes they want. If they all want to tattoo YSL on them, that's fine. We told you it's not a crime to be a part of a gang. The crime is when you start doing criminal street gang activity, like murdering Donovan Thomas, murdering Chanel Drinks, murdering Jamari Holmes. That is what the violation is, not being a member of a gang. So you'll see, and we said it again, that on the left-hand side were the charges for Mr. Kendrick, on the right-hand side were the charges for Mr. Stillwell, and in the middle is what they were both charged with. So Mr. Kendrick is charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. That's from May 9, 2022, when he was found running from Mr. Williams' house. Remember, the officer came and said that they both must have been out of breath, and he ran from the house. And the drugs and the guns that were found inside the house. The marijuana and the guns that were found in the house. So in order to prove this, we have to show that the defendant possessed with the intent to distribute any amount of marijuana. Marijuana includes all parts of the plant. What it does not include is the hemp products and all those other technical terms that I'm not going to try to pronounce for you tonight. We have to show that he possessed it and has possessed the marijuana or the firearm. We're going to talk about the firearm in a moment. Possession must be actual, constructive, sold, or joint. So we're going to tell you that it's not actual possession. No one caught him with the marijuana in his hand. We're going to talk about constructive possession. At the time of the alleged offense, he did not have direct physical control over the marijuana or firearm, but did knowingly have both the ability and the intention to exercise control over the marijuana. We know he doesn't have sole possession or focus on joint possession. Defendant share possession of marijuana or firearms with at least one other person. What evidence do we have of it? And I know Mr. Weinstein, we didn't have any evidence. We do. Pictures are evidence. That's direct evidence like we talked about earlier. This is the side of the home of Mr. Williams. That's the money counter that was sitting next to the Tupperware bowl full with the marijuana. That's the Tupperware bowl full with the marijuana. That's the more marijuana that was in that cabinet in that same kitchen, right across from where the Tupperware bowl of the marijuana was. And those are the two guns that were found inside that area. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the testimony that SWAT, when they came, did not immediately make entry into the house. It was like announced, it was loud. So I submit to you that they had the opportunity to put stuff away, to hide stuff, because they didn't just come in immediately, ladies and gentlemen. So you can take that into consideration as you deliberate.
God damn.
The possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. So the state must prove that the defendant had a firearm on his person or within arm's reach while committing a crime against or involving another person. For Mr. Stillwell, it's murder. For Mr. Kendrick, it's the possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. So how do we show this? On the left is Shannon Stillwell. That is Mr. Drake inside of the vehicle. We know that Mr. Drake was shot with a 40 caliber gun.
I can't believe she put his body, a picture of his body in front of this jury.
You can infer, although we do not have the gun, that Mr. Stillwell possessed the gun that shot and killed Mr. Drake because he's dead and because we have the bullet. You can infer that. That's that circumstantial evidence. Your direct evidence is someone is deceased. You have bullets. We know those bullets come from a firearm.
Listen to what she just said. We don't have the gun, but you can infer, jury, you can infer that he did this. Oh my God, watching this in retrospect after the verdict came in, now I understand.
Only way you can infer that the shooter, Mr. Stillwell, possessed a firearm. Mr. Kendrick, again, you had the firearms inside of the house at the time when the house was raided. There were two found inside of that cabinet. There was the one that's found on his counter. Now,
This is funny. All right, guys, listen, we do have somebody in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and bring her up. Huge shout out to our guest. Shout out to Robin. Robin, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Welcome. It's so
Thank
good to chat with
you.
you, Robin. What do you think about all the shenanigans?
Oh my goodness. I've been watching this with you and the lead and the fit attorney for months. But the DA's office, I think they blew it when they all came in, when Love and Hilton came in with red on. I think that was overkill. And I think they just shot themselves in the foot with that. I am so relieved that Yak Gotti got off. And the same thing with Stillwell. I mean, he got the gun. I didn't hear what did the judge say about the gun charge?
So with Stillwell, he was found guilty of that, and you know, for some reason, an echo happens with StreamYard. So when I'm not talking, I'm gonna mute myself to fix it. But so he was found guilty of that. Now, the good thing is that he got probation and the balance of time served. So that's the good thing. So both of them very possibly might be coming home.
Oh, good. Well, you know what? And Kayla Bumpus, I think she wants to be a reality TV star, and she's about to be one of the biggest stars because her and Stillwell, imagine when they get on YouTube, she's going to blow up because they're going to want to hear this story. Everybody's been following this for so long. They're going to want to hear this story between the two of them because I find this very interesting that she and Stillwell are together. And I'm interested in how this is all going to pan out. But I think Kayla is doing it for clout and for money, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
It's
listen.
only my opinion.
Yeah, no, and thank you for sharing that. And what I'm doing, guys, is I am giving you an opportunity to come up and share your opinions. Robin is sharing her opinion right now. So thank you so much, Robin. It was good to meet you. And
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, of
Bye-bye.
course. Bye now. All right, guys. So yes, if you do come up, just make sure that if you have YouTube open, that you either close out of that and you just focus on StreamYard with me. I think that's what's causing the echo. But I do have somebody in the back, and I'm so excited for her to come up. Guys, I am now bringing you a girl from Texas. How you doing, sis?
Hey, everyone. Hopefully I'm not echoing or anything like that.
No, you look fantastic.
Okay,
You look
thank
fantastic.
you.
You sound fantastic.
Thank
And
you, thank you, thank
you know,
you.
chat will let us know if there's an echo.
And first, chat, don't come for me. Don't mess with, if my lace and stuff ain't right, don't be messing with me because I didn't expect this.
And there we go. There we go. What do you think? Where do we start? I mean, wow.
First of all, Yak is free, and y'all in the chat know how I feel about that. So I'm very, very, very happy about that. Honestly, I think that justice was served. It went the way that it was supposed to go, the way it needed to go. Additionally, I really don't have a whole lot to talk about when it comes to the actual trial, but I want to say to you, ma'am, you are an inspiration. Okay. You are awesome. You've been here with us through this whole thing. And you've shown me so much and I've learned so much from you that I just like I say in the comments, it's a chatterhood. It really is. So I really want to get on here to talk to you, to tell you thank you for all that
Oh
you
my
do.
God, a girl
Yeah.
from Texas.
Because
Thank you. I mean,
you're
thank
amazing.
you. Thank
So
you. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets hard because it's like we get up every day and we do this and it's like this and that and all these things. And even working with lead, like it's always good when people like say thank you. Like it's definitely an appreciation. I appreciate all of you guys and all the support, you know, like it hasn't been easy. 170 days of this trial.
it's a long time. And I think I've been watching y'all since about probably, I want to say like June-ish. So maybe like May, June is when I actually started. And I mean, I've been here every day, like trying to make sure I'm keeping up with everything, like I'm on it. And you just, I don't know, it's the energy that you bring it out of the chat, you bring it out of the people around you. I mean, you have an immense amount of support. It's just, you've even helped me. I work with the government and I work with contracts and things of that nature. And since I'm entry level into that, you're just helping me better understand contract law, even though it's not contract law, but all of this stuff it's
It
all the
does.
same. You know what I mean? So you've helped me tremendously. And I thank you for that.
Of
So I'm
course,
gonna
of
get off here
course.
and go do my other thing that I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, and listen, a tip for advice, and my contract law professor would have loved to hear that because she was hard on us, right?
It's
Offer,
crazy.
acceptance, consideration, keys to
Yep.
contracts.
Yep.
Oh, it's so
But
good to meet you, a girl from
so good to meet you
Texas.
too. Nice to see everyone in the chat. You know, yeah, but
Yes, they loved you in there. Go look at the comments, girl.
bye you guys.
Thank you, a girl from Texas. Guys, it was so good to talk to two of y'all real quick. That was amazing. And I'm going to leave the link up the whole time. So we'll go back to Hilton's debauchery. But, you know, if y'all want to pop in, we'll take a little break and chat with y'all on what you think of today's verdict. Yak Gotti, not guilty on all counts. SB, Shannon Stillwell, did get, you know, he was found guilty for one of the charges. Count 64. I have all of that in the description section so you can check it out there. Max Shar is going to be joining us this week. So we are going to be able to ask Max questions ourselves. It's going to be fantastic. But let's continue to see how Simone Hilton failed in getting this conviction. Because here's the thing. She was trying to convince this jury that these guys are guilty. We are rewatching it to see how this was not convincing for these folks. Before we do that, I do have somebody else that popped on in the back. Huge shout out to a brother. We got a brother back here. Shout out to Rob. How you doing, Rob?
Yo, what's good? What's good? AD, God bless y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't think I was about to pop up this fast. But I want to tell you one thing. You guys are not only streaming stuff for us to have content on, you all guys are also changing the lives of people.
Oh, wow.
Because we watch y'all and we begin to nip and tuck on things in our own lives. Because we're watching these gentlemen. I'm rest in peace, first of all, to Rich Homie Quan. I am still a big fan of his music. Him and Thugger when they were Rich Gang. You know, and to see how Gunna's being treated right now outside the situation. I'm glad that Yak Gotti and Shannon got what they got. But to let everybody know, should Thugger have thugged it out? I don't think so, because him not being in the courtroom was a big move to be like sacrificial, to be non-selfish. It wasn't only about Thug. And it's like playing chess. When he wasn't in that room, a lot was done for those two young men. I know the case was the way it was, but the system plays it the way it wants to play it. Let's be for real. There's many things that have occurred concerning the justice system, and we're thinking, well, this is a mockery, it's a mess, and they still get hung. So shout out to you and Lee for being the people that you guys are. Look out for my YouTube page, will be coming real soon. I promise you that. But I just want to honor you guys for being true spokesmen of the game. You know what I mean? And because this thing called law is nothing to play with. It's serious. You know what I mean? And truth be told, the man upstairs, God definitely looked out for all these gentlemen. God looked out for all these gentlemen. It's not only about the gavel. You know what I mean? I'm glad that everything went the way it went. I'm so glad I got up on your page real quick. Shout out to you guys, man. I work 2 jobs and I follow you guys, man, and blessings to the streamers that support you guys. because many people can't support you guys. And for the ones that can, a big thumbs up and a big shout out to you guys because it's real. And you guys' community is the real deal. It's not a fake. It's not a fraud. You know what I mean? So shout out to you guys, man.
I love it, Rob. Well, yeah, listen, the reason why I didn't talk as much is because there's that echo happening, but I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming up, sharing your thoughts.
God bless you.
Chat loves you. You're welcome anytime.
No doubt. AB, shout out to you. Lee, you the man.
All right, brother. Have a good
All right,
one.
God
Thanks
bless.
for coming up.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
All right, guys, that was great. It's great to hear from y'all, you know, to hear your thoughts. You've been watching the trial with us for so long. It's really important to capture viewer, you know, like sentiments as well, right? All right, let's get back to the debauchery. Again, if you're going to come up, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Let's watch how Simone Hilton tried to convince these people to convict these two guys and failed.
You have to show for Mr. Stillwell, he has 2 counts. And interestingly enough, I was listening, Mr. Shaw never talked about count 64. So, but we're going to talk about count 64. But count 52 is that he's a convicted felon and he had a firearm when he murdered Chanel Drinks. And in count 64, which is when he was apprehended, the gun that was found in the middle of the road, that we charged him with that weapon as well. And then again with Mr. Kendrick, that there were guns and drugs at Allison Drive on May 9th. And let me also say that in the indictment, possession of firearm by convicted felon is going to be a lesser included of what is charged.
Uh-oh, guys, we got somebody else. We got somebody else in the back, and I'm so excited to chat with her. Let us, who do we have coming to the stage? We have Hair Alchemist. Hi,
Hey,
sis.
y'all.
How you doing?
I'm cool. I'm calling from New Orleans. Thank you so much for letting me in. I've been with you the whole time. I love the community. Thank you, Lee. Crazy.
Of course, of course. What do you think about the outcome of the trial today?
I am so happy. These young men really deserved a fair trial. I'm not saying that they're saints or anything like that. I'm not saying they never committed any crime, but you know, the facts were the facts. And Love and Hilton was trying to make it seem like they had a case and everything was, I think maybe they did. No evidence. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's interesting to go back and look at what Miss Hilton was saying, you know?
It was very unfair. I think Doug did the right thing for himself, and for real, that's what he was supposed to do. The other Max and Weinstein, big up to them. They fought a good fight, and they knew that they had a case and they knew that they could win. I have a lot of friends that are attorney. I have a few friends that are judges here in New Orleans, and I go to the courthouse all the time. So I know how they play. And Love and Hilton were very unfair to these young men.
Yes, they totally were. They totally were. Maria, shout out to Nola. Shout out to New Orleans. I'm sure you can make some mean gumbo, okay? Like, it's putting me in the mood for it.
Well, I'm 30-year vegan, but I can make some mean food.
I love it. I love it. All right.
Yes,
Well, we've
yes.
got a little bit of a line accumulating. Thank you so
love
much,
all of
sister.
y'all. Thank you.
We love you back. We love you back. Have a good one.
You too. Yeah, say hey. And look, recover when he in New Orleans, he can hit me up. I know some good herbalist.
Perfect. Perfect. I will let him know. Thank you so much, sis.
You're welcome, honey.
All right, guys. Well, we got a few people in the back, so we're going to give you guys all an opportunity to chat. It was so great to meet Maria just now, Hair Alchemist. She's always in the chat supporting, so it is fantastic to be able to chat with her. Now, I'm going to bring a brother up this time. Coming to the stage, we got CT Benny. How you doing, brother?
I'm well, thank you.
Awesome,
Very pleased to meet
awesome. It's good to meet you up here. What are your thoughts? How do and you know, if you can, just so people can see if you could stand still for 1 second and then tell us what you think.
I'm walking out now.
Okay, perfect.
I believe that you know, first of all, their rights are violated so much in this case, and it's so sad to see my own people do my own people like that. I know people have a job to do and everything, but I think Doug did the right thing. He was able to keep his passport. He has millions. He can live wherever he wants. So he should be successful as probation. And I'm just so happy that these guys were found not guilty. And Love and Hilton and the state was exposed for all the corruption, Glanville. And I'm at work, so I can't really. But thanks for having me. It's a
Yeah, of
pleasure.
course, anytime. And you know,
You're
like,
gorgeous, too.
thank you. Thank you. I will take that. But it's always important for us to hear what you guys think as well. So thank you so much, CT Benny.
It was my pleasure. Yep.
All right, have a
great
good
day.
one. Thanks, brother.
Bye.
All right, y'all, we're going to go back in and continue watching the debauchery. Let's go.
If the felon is a lesser charge, and the court is going to instruct you, and you can find both of them guilty, so long as you believe that both of them possess the firearm, and they have been previously convicted of a felony. What do you have in evidence? You have State's Exhibit 60G and State's Exhibit 30Q. Both of those are the indictments of Mr. Stillwell, which he was charged with and convicted of a felony. So that is a felony that we're saying he should not have been in violation of, or he should not have possessed the firearm. As I just discussed, because he's a convicted felon, he should never have a firearm when he murdered Chanel Jones. For count 64, what do we have? Remember, this is on March 17th.
Oh, hold on, chat. There's somebody back here. And he has been responsible for making many of you laugh for a long time. I'm gonna bring him up. I'm so excited to talk to this brother. He's had me cracking up all the time. Shout out to Petty Pendergrass. There he is in the flesh. It's good to see you. Yeah, I can hear you. It says professional Petty.
What's going on, fam?
I love it. Petty, tell us what you think.
Man, it was a whole complete shit show from beginning to end. I mean, I at some point during this whole trial, that's when I started getting into my roasting and shit, because it was like the prosecution was just losing us. They kept reaching, and wasn't nothing there. It's like a motherfucker in the middle. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's like a person in the middle of the pool, out of energy, and you reaching for the side of the wall.
We call that scrambling and scraping in these parts.
Right.
That's what it is. We love it when you're scrambling and scraping, Daddy. That's what that is.
But I just wanted to come in and put my appreciations in to you two and everybody in the chat. I love y'all, man. I don't even know what I would have been doing with my day all of these days. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit, hell.
Listen,
it's just been fun.
Yes, you've been entertaining as hell. I mean, while I have you, what did we call the court reporter with the hair? You had a whole bunch that day.
Damn, which one? The black lady?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the one that make the good yams and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot what I said about her hair, but she had a few little hairdos and stuff that kind of like threw me off. And then it kind of looked like they swapped the two black. It's like it was two black reporters.
Yes.
They did a swap out like Aunt Vivian from Fresh Prince on our asses. I'm like, wait a minute, that ain't her. Is that her? Nah.
Oh my God, Petty, you wildin'. I love it.
Hey, man. Like I said, man, the whole trial was a complete waste of time. That's why I'm glad these last two brothers got off, and they shouldn't be free. Let's be real about this. They had some serious charges, and they probably did have evidence against them. The prosecution didn't know how to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
It is. And I mean, between Miss Love and Miss Hilton, you know, I mean,
gorillas. Look, both of them looking like Jungle Book. While she up there talking about the law of the jungle and everything, you and Magilla Gorilla over here, and Timon and Pumbaa sitting over there, Atkins and Abate, and I was like, I didn't even know his name was Abate. I thought they kept saying a body. I'm like, a body? He got a body? Him?
We got a body. Oh my God! See, I knew it was gonna be.
He look like he get body put on him.
I'm done, Petty. I am done.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I love it. He literally has me crying. He has most of you guys in chat this whole time crying every day. He would just come prepared. Like, what?
I'm just glad y'all ain't banned me by now.
We
And
gotta
then you
have
made me a moderator. I was like, oh, I'm untouchable.
Listen, I had a good feeling about that choice. I really did. So thank you so much, Petty. We do got a few folks back here, but
All right.
continue doing your thing. Huge
Love
glad you're
y'all.
part of this community. So thank you so much, Petty.
Love you too, AB.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and we'll bring a sister up. We're gonna bring up Miss Maduke. How you doing, Maduke?
Oh, how you doing? Can you hear
I'm
me?
good. I'm good. What'd you think of today's shenanigans?
Man, listen, the Adams family ran out that court like the coyote and the road runners after you because they just couldn't. They was like, we didn't get nothing. No, you didn't get anything. You didn't. You didn't. You didn't get the water that's in the spaghetti pot to stick against the wall. I mean, there was casket dressed in black yesterday ready. Her closing arguments killed it when she said, I don't have DNA, I don't have no gun. Okay, so what are we, where's, we don't have Rico.
Right.
But Rico is at the office with Fanny because you done lost your job at Emory.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you got the DA job. Fanny ain't no better than Trump. So just keeping it real.
Yeah.
I don't understand what was this trial 2 years and a half about. Y'all need to pay these juries some rent, their mental health bill, because they're gonna need psychiatrists. And our taxpayer money 2.5 years, and then you try to bring. I have a question. Can the state do away with this Rico state stuff? Can we just please stop? How do you get this off because it's not working.
Yeah, that's a good point because I do think that there's legislation to kind of prevent this from happening. At the start of the year, there was a lot of focus on Fonnie Willis and some of the business practices that are happening in the Fulton County DA's office. The Georgia Senate Committee has been doing an investigation, but at the same time, they are putting up guardrails that came out of Fonnie's last administration so that some of these things don't continue. We will see what happens with Rico, but as I was mentioning, it's getting popular. It's getting popular in the law.
I mean, start a GoFundMe, $25 a day, 2.5 years. Come on now. They're gonna get a YouTube channel. I hope they bought lead course and y'all gonna have a vision because who's gonna want them as a lawyer? She was jumping up there like she was on Percocet, Xanax, acting like she was McKinnonville in that closing argument, bopping around, talking so fast. Come on.
But Duke, you are a trip. I love this. I love it so much. But listen, I got a few more people in the back.
I just had to say, I love you. I love the channel. I don't know what to do with my days now and I want to thank everyone because I have been going through a lot. They still have not found my brother who's been missing.
Oh my God.
Months ago, 2 months before that, I lost my other brother and, from South Carolina, Charleston. I put it in the chat. I thank you all guys also. This has really been charming in and charming out and just saying things and just listening took my mind off things. But you don't understand when it hits home. You hear people about missing. And that's my oldest brother. It's a small town. He go from one place to the other. I don't understand it, but I just want to say thank you guys. You brought me through the day, and this is a family. On to the next trial.
That's it. We're going to keep trial streaming. I love it, Ma Duke. Thank you so much.
Fanny, you need to go find Rico, and we need to bring Rico charges against you. That's it.
Oh, there we go. Ma Duke has spoken. All right. Thank you so much, sister. Come back up anytime.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, guys, we have a few more folks, and one of my favorite law students ever, Kelly Kell, is here. How you doing, Kelly?
Hey, can you hear me fine?
I can hear you just fine.
I'm so excited to talk to someone about this because I feel like one thing I've been thinking about, and I'm going straight to my questions, but one thing I was thinking about is like, would the trial still be done if the Young Thug and the rest of the defendants had stayed in. That's like one thing I was thinking about when deciding whether he should have pled or not. I think it's very likely, like, unless there's a mistrial, we would still be in like that courtroom probably if they were still there. Do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think if they did not take the plea deals, right? Because the case was so much more complex when all of the defendants were still in it. You know, they still had, I think in October, they still had, like, the judge wanted them to be done with their case right now, you know, and then we would have had to go through 6 defense attorneys and their, you know, witnesses if they chose them. Notice here, when it got down to 2 defendants, notice that neither Doug or Max bought people up. They didn't bring any witnesses up to combat any points, none of that. They wanted to go straight to the verdict. And that, you know, Kelly, like that takes a lot of guts, right? Because that shows confidence. That shows confidence that they knew that the case had that the state had a weak case. But to answer your question, I do think we would have still been sitting here watching.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like,
go ahead.
At the end, I was wondering if the jury like would run out of there, or if they would like demand answers from Paige. Like, I feel like I would be like, what did we just sit through for like a year and a half? Like when she came back there and started talking to us.
100%. But Kelly, yeah, no, I think that is fantastic. Did you start your YouTube channel yet? Did you do that?
I didn't. I know. I played around with it. I'm thinking about it. I know. I actually was gonna sign up for another consultation with you because I was like, I think I need someone to kick my butt into gear because I've been just putting it on the back burner.
I love it. Well, guys, Kelly Kell is a 2L. She is in law school. So I am so proud of her. Had an opportunity to talk to her in a consultation, and I'm just really proud of you for coming up as well and sharing your thoughts. Any last thoughts on this case before I let you go?
Not this case, but I'm very excited for Karen Reed.
Awesome. Yeah, because we are going to be moving on to another case, guys, and I will still do YSL stream, so we'll do December 17th, and then when we come back in February for the other defendants. But thank you so much, Kelly Kell.
Bye.
All right, see you soon. All right, guys, I have one more person in the back. Zebra, if you're still there, can you turn your camera on for me? There we go. I'm gonna bring you up, Zebra. Let's bring up Zebra. Hey, how you doing?
Yo, what it do, family? I can't believe I'm actually on here. I ain't gonna lie with you. But first and foremost, I want to say, AV, I really appreciate you for what you're doing. You know, you and Lee, not gonna lie, I've been watching y'all almost every day when y'all go live. And I promise, as soon as White Women Whitaker, she said a verdict is in, I'm looking through YouTube. I'm trying to figure out, is you on live right now? Lee gonna be on live? Who's gonna be on live? Nobody gonna be on live? All right, let's go a long crime. So I dove right in, and boy, I tell you what, my reaction was just out the roof. Even though I ain't gained nothing from this, but just to see those people free, from my perspective, I don't see no evidence. There's no way the state could prove anything that they are guilty, and they have so many reasonable doubts on this trial. So it's like, thank God. But my personal opinion, Thug should have just stayed through the whole time, and yeah, he could have had the same outcome. But God is good, and y'all see proof right then and there.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. Like, I want to hear both sides. If people think that Thug should have stayed, or what the outcome would be if he, you know, continued to get out where, you know, at the time that he did. So thank you so much for your opinion, brother. And I'm so happy you watch us all the time.
Problem. Trust. Y'all like family. I'll be on y'all streams all the time. I'll be on the comments random and whatnot. You know, it's crazy. All these membership everybody gifted, I still have not yet to receive one, but it's all right though. Give me a week and I'll just get a membership myself. It's all good.
Yeah, no, just stay patient.
But I really appreciate you.
All right, Zebra. Take care. Thank you so much for coming up. All righty. Okay, guys. Yeah, if you're interested in coming up, I'm keeping the link pinned to the top this entire time. Today is the day for the people, so we want to hear from y'all. In the meantime, in between time, while we wait for more folks to come up, we are just watching the debauchery of Simone Hilton's closing. Let's go back in.
Remember, Trooper Campbell came in and said that he found the gun in the middle of the road. You saw the dash cam video when he kind of turned around and found his gun. Then we brought in Mr. Stillwell's former girlfriend at the time, Taisha Alexander. She said
you know what's so funny? Every time I say that, somebody comes up. Shout out to Mario. Welcome, Mario. How you doing? Can you hear us?
Hey, what's going on, AV? Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Awesome. Tell me what you think about the case. Oh, Mario, did you freeze on us? Oh no, I think he froze. No, it's glitchy, Mario. It's glitchy. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down because it's frozen on the screen. But come back. Actually, wait. It is stabilizing. Yeah, the connection's not good, brother. I'm sorry. I wanted to hear your opinion.
Uh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, okay. It's fixing now. Okay, tell me what you think about the case. Yeah, I think there's a lag.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
It's not.
So, what are your thoughts on the case?
Uh, I'm thinking about Thug in this situation.
Okay, gotcha. What are your thoughts on Thug in the situation?
I feel bad for him. I felt like he should have went with Steele.
Oh, so you think that Thug should have waited? Okay. Why do you think he should have waited?
Just seeing what those brothers just got. Oh, it's a bad delay. I can't. It's just horrible.
It's okay, Mario. Come up next time, all right? All right. So we had a little bit of connection things. And as you guys come up, just think of that. Just make sure that your connection is good, your Wi-Fi is good, all that stuff. So that way we can hear your thoughts. I do have somebody else coming up. One of my favorite people from the UK. Shout out to Nurse Janice. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Avi? You're amazing.
Thank you I love your accent. Like,
No.
I love your accent.
Oh, Avi, I had to come up. As soon as I saw you drop the link, I was like, oh, I'm trying to catch up because I went into work to a conference and I was like, oh my God, the results are in, the verdict's in.
Yes.
Wow, how amazing. How absolutely amazing for them. But I just want to say thank you for everything. You're an inspiration. The chat is amazing. I love you all. Even though I am in the UK, I still feel part of the US. And I completely understand why Young Thug did what he did. And yes, the child would be carrying on if he hadn't done that. But yeah.
Love it,
Brilliant.
Nurse Janice. I love it. It's always great to chat with you. I always check on what time it is in the UK.
Yes. So it is now 5:43 p.m.
In the future. In the future. All right, Nurse Janice, one of my favorite people. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing your opinion. All right, we'll see you next time. All right, 2 more people in the back. I got some sisters back here. I'm so interested in hearing their opinions. I'm going to come over to Cora. Tell me if I'm saying your name right.
Yes. It's
Cora, what you think? What did you think of this case? Girl.
I just thought that I thought that Thug should have stayed. And I think like everybody else said, the outcome would have probably been the same. And he would have been found not guilty. So yeah. And also I also wanted to ask you a question. Are you going to if they're streaming the Fannie Willis hearing today, I think it's supposed to be at 1:00.
Ooh.
So I'm not sure if they're filming it or not, but I wanted to know if you're going to be filming it over here.
Well, I didn't even know it was happening. You just told me, so we gonna check that out, okay?
Okay.
Cora coming in with the tea. Like, are we gonna look at what's happening with that? We might. We actually might. So thank you so much for the reminder, and I think that it is important because imagine Fonny's reaction after all the things that happened today.
Right. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, sis. Have a good one. Thanks for coming up.
You as well.
All righty. Okay, gonna bring up Brenda. Brenda, how you doing?
I'm good, AV. How are you?
Good, good, good. Brenda, tell me what you thought about the proceedings today. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Perfect, perfect. What did you think of today's proceedings?
So, of course, I'm extremely happy. Yak and SB going home. I'm super happy for Weinstein and Shard. I think they did an amazing job, and I'm sure they're elated with just their performance and everything. So, very happy about that.
Yes, yes, I think we all are, especially after all the shenanigans. It's crazy. It's crazy, all the
Yes,
stuff we were seeing. It's like something happened every day.
every day.
Yeah. Favorite trial moment?
I would probably say still going back and forth with Glanville over
Oh,
the contempt. I think that was amazing. I think Brian Steele not only stood his ground for himself, but he was standing his ground for his client. So that
yes.
was my favorite moment thus far.
I love it. I love it. All right, Brenda. Well, listen, thank you so much for your opinion. You are welcome anytime. You can come back
Yes,
up, let us know what you think. There's a lot of trials we're going to be covering, but
for sure.
anytime you want to come up and share your voice, I would love to hear it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank
All
you,
right,
Ivy.
sis. Have a good one.
You You too. Bye too. bye. Bye.
Bye now. All right. Okay, so we cleared our queue. We cleared our queue. We're having a celebration, watching all the debauchery. I'm going to take the link down for a little bit, guys, because we've had a lot of folks come on up. But real quick, right when I say that, somebody came on up. So shout out to the Court of Public Opinion. Hey, sis, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great. What did you think of the shenanigans
Oh
today?
my goodness. I was at the edge of my seat. Edge of my seat, but I think both you and Lead covered the trial. I mean, it was just phenomenal. We've learned a lot. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat can agree. And as far as the outcome, you know what? I feel like the state, they did anything possible to try to, railroad these young men. And I'm glad that the jury was able to see that things weren't right. Things weren't right at all. And yeah. And also us, the chat neighborhood. What do you call it?
The
The
Chatterhood.
chatterhood, yes. We saw it from a mile away. We saw from a mile away, and the jury, I'm sure they saw that, things weren't right as well, including the judge. So
Yeah.
yeah, the outcome, I think it was a great outcome.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Nicole Westmoreland was here a few weeks ago, and she had mentioned something similar, meaning like, sometimes the attorneys would go to the law and crime chat to see how people are reacting, because
Mhm.
that gave them an understanding of how is the jury going to vote. So you made an excellent point there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite trial moment?
Um, my favorite trial moment, I would say what had happened today. What
Yeah.
happened
There
today,
we
it was
go.
very
Birthday.
exciting. Very, very exciting. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I had emailed you. I was on TikTok and I saw when Brian Steele was teaching at the
Oh, so you
university.
sent the clip. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you. Thank
I
you so
emailed it to
much.
you. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, we have a team and they usually like flag clips and stuff for me to look at. But
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for sending it. And thank all of you guys. Whenever y'all send us clips of things that could be useful to the stream, it always means a lot and it helps us get this production done. Whenever people pitch in, it's always super thoughtful for you to take the time to send that over. But I did see that. So thank you
Yes.
so much because it
I
was super
thought of you
powerful.
immediately. I was like, oh, I have to send this to AV. I have to send it to her.
Thank you for doing that because I think you were one of the only ones that sent it over. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
Awesome, awesome. Well, sis, it was great chatting with you. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down. We're gonna finish this, and you are welcome anytime. We have an open Q&A. You can come up anytime.
Thank you. One last thing, I just want to say that you are an inspiration, and I'm just so thankful. I've learned a lot watching your videos, and I purchased the 2 courses, the beginner and advanced for Lead, and I completed it. And for everybody in the chat, you as well, AV, look out for me because I am going to be following, behind you guys. Some big shoes to fill. So
Yes, if you have the link to your channel, whenever you're ready to drop it, just let us know. And of course, you guys know we'll always support and help y'all out.
Thank you so much. So far, I have no followers. So if you guys can, when I put it in the chat, please follow me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Court of Public Opinion. She is on her YouTube journey. Thank you so much, sis. We will share that for sure.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, that is awesome. We have a new growing content creator. Love it, love it. Took both of Lee's courses. That is fantastic. I did see Mental Chaos back here a little while ago. It would have been great to talk to him, but we'll keep going and see if he joins in. Other than that, and just a quick reminder, I did take the link down. However, if you are planning on coming up, just make sure that you are your audio, video, all of that's good. You know, I am trying to mute in between conversations because there's an echo that's happening. Usually that means somebody either has a YouTube link open or things like that. But I think we did pretty good, Chatterhood. All right, let's go back into this. And if Mental Chaos comes up, I will bring him up as well.
Gun, that was her gun. That gun came back to Ms. Alexander. We were able to compare the serial numbers on both the gun that was collected and the receipt from Arrowhead Pond. And further, we played these jail calls, YSL calls for you. Hello? Yeah. I don't know. China called like you can play on high speed tape to the Baba house. Yeah. Why do I need a high speed tape if he legit? Yeah. He got my legit gun. So the fact that she says he got my legit gun, which is that gun right here, he should never have ever been in possession of it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on either, because usually they'll call like how he got my gun. Yeah. They'll call me like, come get your gun, but they didn't even call me. So I don't know if he got my gun, I don't know what's going on. And again, this phone call was done on March 17th, the day he got arrested. The day Mr. Stillwell got arrested. Now for Mr. Kendrick, you have in evidence that Exhibit 487 BB, which is a certified copy of conviction of Mr. Kendrick. And again, because he's a convicted felon, he should not have been in constructive possession of any of these guns that are inside the home. So now, based on what we have shown you, they are guilty of, right now, count 1, count 50, 51, 52, 54, 57, 58, 61, 63, and 64. So let's spend some time on the murders, because that is what we need to talk about. So for the murders, Mr. Stillwell is charged with count 2 and count 49, which is Donovan Thomas Jr. and Chanel Drinks, and Mr. Kendrick is charged solely with count 2, which is the death of Donovan Thomas Jr. You're going to hear the court read you an instruction about intent. Intent is every essential element of any crime must be proved by the state beyond a reasonable doubt. It may be shown in many ways, provided that you, the jury, believe that it existed from the proven facts before you. It may be inferred from the proven circumstances or by acts and conduct, or it may be in your discretion inferred when it is the natural and necessary consequence of the act. Intent does not mean an intention to violate the law or to violate a criminal statute, but it means simply the intention to commit the act that is prohibited by the statute. So what is it? What are the elements that we have to prove for murder? That Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Kendrick caused the death of another person, here, Donovan Thomas and Chanel Drink, unlawfully and with malice aforethought. What is malice? It is not necessarily ill will or hatred, rather it is the unlawful intent to kill. You may find malice when the circumstances show that the defendant acted with deliberate intention to unlawfully take the life of another person, or where there does not appear to be significant provocation and all the circumstances show an abandoned and malignant heart. You often hear about premeditation. Some of you like watching these crime shows. The state does not have to prove premeditation to prove murder. So we don't have to sit and say you planned it.
So brief interruption. A lot of people are like, what are we watching? Okay, guys, the verdict came in. We already covered it. I wanted to come back to Simone Hilton's closing argument so we can see what she said that did not convince this jury. That is what we're doing, all right? I'm gonna pin it to the chat in case a few people are asking, but that's what we're watching, okay? And it's almost done. We're about halfway through. We did take some callers, and I'm just trying to catch up on messages and everything, so that's why we are watching this. But it's gonna be a fun-filled week. We are inviting Max Shard to the channel. We're gonna be able to get his thoughts after this has ended. He's done some press conferences, we've seen that. I'm also looking up the Fonnie Willis thing as well, so I'm over here trying to do like many things at the same time, but that's what we're watching, okay guys? Let's go back in.
You all mapped it out and that you knew you were gonna kill Donovan Thomas or Chanel Drinks right at that moment. If the killing is done with malice, it is murder, regardless of how briefly the malicious intent existed. So when Deomonte Kendrick rode by the barbershop and they saw Donovan Thomas sitting outside with his friends, and I'm going to submit to you, they started calling and saying, yo, Donovan's out here. Let's go do this. That's enough. Or with Chanel Drinks, when Shannon and Arlington are sitting in the car and they're backed in and they see Mr. Drinks pull in and they realize, oh snap, that's the dude from the Shell Cal post. And they see him walking up and they decide at that moment they're going to get him because they're going to get revenge, they're going to get back. That's enough right there. Doesn't have to be days planned. Within moments, that is enough. No specific length of time is required for malice to arise in the defendant's mind. It may be forming on moments, and instantly a fatal wound may be inflicted. If malice was in the defendant's mind at the time of the act of the killing and moved the defendant to do it, that is enough for the killing to be murder. Now, motive. The law says we don't have to prove motive. You want to know why? Because oftentimes I can't get into the mind of why someone wants to murder somebody. But here, and we're going to talk about it, we have some evidence of motive. Any evidence of motive has been admitted for your use in determining the defendant's state of mind at the time of the killing. So you heard Mr. Atkins talk earlier about parties to a crime. I'm not going to go over all the principles again, but he gave you the example of the bank robbery, right? Everyone who is a part of the crime is responsible. So in this case, for Donovan Thomas, Mr. Kendrick, the driver. Mr. Kendrick, the state's belief, the state's theory, is that he alerted them about where Donovan Thomas was because he was the one that was at the Texaco. He's the one that waited something minutes for the Infinity to pull up. He's the one who got out of the Bonneville and went to the Infinity. He's just as guilty as the ones who pulled the trigger, Nard and Mr. Jackson. He's just as responsible. And that's what parties to a crime says. Every person involved in the murder is just as responsible as the person who pulls the trigger because you all act together. Now, we have in Chanel Drinks an individual that you kept hearing about, the Marco Boyer. And someone brought up that the Marco Boyer isn't on the indictment. Well, this is the law that's going to be instructed to you. Any party to a crime who did not directly commit the crime may be prosecuted for commission of the crime upon proof that the crime was committed and that that person was a party to it, even though the person alleged to have directly committed the crime has not been prosecuted or convicted, has been convicted of a different crime or degree of crime, is not in need of justice, or has been acquitted. Mr. Boyer's dates for another day. We're not going to talk about Mr. Boyer today. Today, we're going to talk about Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Kendrick. You can look at presence, companionship, and conduct before and after the commission of the alleged offense. And those things may be considered by you in determining whether or not certain circumstances, if any, can rise from inference or the existence of a conspiracy. So what does that mean? You can look at what they did before, what they did during, and what they did after. And for both of those murders, we're going to talk about conduct before, conduct during, and conduct after. So let's talk about Mr. Donovan Thomas Jr. You heard from his mother, you heard from his father. He was from Atlanta, he had kids, he was in a gang, but he had started to kind of try to get into the music business. And he had started doing that by one, he had a relationship with Rich Homie. Two, he had just put Lucci on, YSL Lucci. So he was trying to kind of turn that mark and do something different. What did you hear about Donovan Thomas? That on the night that he was gunned down, that he was at the barbershop, getting his hair cut, his brother was there, and what were they getting ready to do? Meet with their daddy to watch the football game. I think it was the Ravens and the Patriots. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the Ravens and the Patriots. And that's what he was getting ready to do. Spend time with his father. You know that he has a biological brother, but he also has a brother, which they tell the Watts, who's super close to him, that they are brothers, but not biologically, but they share a brother, so they call themselves brothers. He said he was trying to get in the music industry. That's him with YSL Lucci. That's him with Rich Homie Quan. And so much so, after his death, Lucci had a whole album dedicated to him, Long Live Nut. And we know that Peanuts was his nickname. Now let's go over some timelines, because I think oftentimes we focus just on the murder, but there's some things that led up to that day that is very important for you to consider as you continue to live. So we know in September 2014, Rich Homie Quan's father barbershop.
Guys.
Now Mr. Cole.
Guess what? Huge shout out to Thugger Daily. He found Juror 56. I'm going to show this to y'all. There is a little clip of Juror 56. Here's a video. I'm gonna share it over here. Let's put it over here so we can watch this video. But remember yesterday we did a poll? We were like, is this a white man or a black man? All of you guys who said it was a black man, you were right. It is a black man. I didn't know. He said, oh my God. Okay, let's share this tab instead. Here he is. Let's make this big. Let's see what Juror 56 has to say. We're gonna take it all the way back. It's a 40-second video, but let's listen to him.
I can file a report that I was one of the jurors for the YSL court case here in the state of Georgia, the longest court case in the state history. We just wrapped up a few hours ago, delivered the verdict for two of the remaining individuals. A long time, a year and some change. It took us about 4 or 5 days to deliberate, and now we can get back to our normal lives. I talked to my sister not too long ago. I'm the infamous juror number 56, as well as the foreman, and we'll talk more about this court case at some other point. In the meantime, I'm going to relax, get my life back to normal, my regular routine, and get back in the friendly skies and travel around the world. And yeah, we'll talk soon. All right. I can file a report that
This is Juror 56, guys. This is the foreman of the jury. And you know what? The fact that he came out with a video already, listen, these people are coming for bread. They are coming for their money. And he is cute. I mean, ladies are seeing it. He's attractive. But this is Juror 56. What does that mean if you're a foreman of a jury? That means that there's a group of 12 people, right? And there is a person that is going to speak to the judge and speak on the behalf of the group. That's this gentleman here. Now, it appears that he is open about talking about the trial, but here's the thing, guys, like everybody's gonna want some shmoney now. Like for these interviews, they're gonna want some shmoney. That's why I prefer talking to the attorneys, but I mean, they deserve it. Like, look at his apartment. I mean, for $25 a day, at least he was able to keep up a good place, you know? But these people should be paid. They were getting paid $25 a day in the longest case in Georgia history. It is historic. They do deserve to go out there and share their story and their experience. And, you know, if anybody can tell you about their experience with the prosecutors and listening to the story and making a decision, you know, what these 12 people just went through was a lot, right? They can write books, you know, they can, you know, get stuff out there. Somebody said Trevor Noah. The ladies are like, he is fine. Listen, he's cute. He's cute, ladies. He is cute. And who knows, is he available? But he said he wants to travel the world, get back out there, get back to his normal life. But I definitely wanted to pop in and show you guys that because it was just posted about a minute ago. So this is Juror 56, and I am imagining that a lot of people are going to be speaking out on their trial experience. Notice something. We have not heard from the prosecution team at all. Not a press conference, not anything. Maybe they're working with victim families right now, but they've got some work to do. They've got some pleas to come up with, some plea deals to come up with as well. But this is Juror 56, guys. Let's go back to Simone's closing, and then I think we'll start to wrap it up. But let's go over there.
Told you on the stand here that him and Threat were responsible for that. YSL members responsible for shooting up the shop of a YSL gang member. Or shoot the father of his gang associate. Then, if you can recall, in all of the different interviews, majority of them, Mr. Copeland talked about this shooting at the Lakewood gambling house. He talked about it in mostly every interview when he kept on telling them about the history of him and Kelvin. And he talked about the fact that Kelvin had shot up the gambling house and shot up Doug's car. Then he talks about, in multiple interviews, a meeting at Cascade Stadium, in which him and Kel were there. Kel wanted Copeland to call Thug so they can maybe squash whatever issue that they had. And then when Thug, Mr. Williams, got on the phone, he asked Kelvin, "Are you going to pay for my car window?" Kelvin said no. They got into it, and it kept on going. You heard about the January 6th fight at Club Crucial, in which Copeland was jumped at the club. And then upon leaving the club, there was a fight with Bloody J, that some YSL members jumped on Bloody J. And that Kendrick and Arnold, they were arrested when they left the club. And that's going to be important, because when we talk about phone records, while we don't have some phone records from Mr. Kendrick. Then we had the January 8th shooting at TIG Studio where Rich Homie Quan's purple truck was shot up. There was some alluding to the fact that Copeland did that shooting. I think Quindarius Zachary may have said in his interview that Copeland did that shooting. Then there was that blood meeting the night before the murder. Now, I know that Mr. Sharp played for you the clip in which Copeland says that the blood meeting was about him, but remember the blood meeting was also about Mr. Williams. And he said that in one of his interviews. That the blood meeting just wasn't about him, but it was about him, Copeland, and Mr. Williams. Then on January 10th, you had the death or the murder of Mr. Donovan Thomas at 330 McDaniel Street. Then you have the retaliatory shootings begin immediately. See, the streets knew what it took the state and the government a long time to figure out. They went directly to who they thought killed Donovan Thomas. They immediately started shooting at Jeffrey Williams' family's house and Kenneth Copeland's family's house because they thought that both of them were in on it. Also, in the late morning hours, early on January 11th, Kenneth Copeland meets with the Atlanta Police Department and many of the YSL members, they flee to Miami. You have more retaliatory shootings. Then in April, between April and May of 2015, you had an incident at Dunbar Center where Copeland is found with that gun. They don't arrest him then. He calls Gaither. Gaither speaks to him. They let him go. But once they did more investigation, they got the video surveillance from the Dunbar Center. They arrest him on June 10th. And then that's when he does the 9-hour interview that we'll discuss. In August of 2015 was Quindarius Zachary's interview. In September 2015, Shannon becomes the target of 2 shootings, one at the Green Store, the other one with the Tierra Jones. In October 2015, arrest warrants are taken out for Garlington, Copeland, Sledge, and Stillwell. In November 2015, there was a preliminary hearing. The case was dismissed against Sledge. In 2016, the case was dismissed against Garlington and Copeland, and Stillwell received a bond. Between 2016 and 2018, there was an additional investigation and follow-up, and the indictment came in 2022. We're going to talk more about these dates, but I want to give everyone a general timeline overview. As Mr. Atkins talked to you about earlier, you determine the credibility of the witnesses. And I can't remember if Mr. Shard or Mr. Weinstein said it, but they are absolutely right. We don't choose our witnesses. The witnesses and our victims are chosen by the crimes that are committed. So when you do your gang murder and you brag to your gang member friends that you murdered someone, then the person I have to bring here to tell you what happened is the gang member friend. And the gang member friend isn't going to want to tell you in front of them what they told the police. So that's why I had to fight. Ms. Love got to fight. We got to argue with them back and forth because now they have to come in here and confront the people that they snitched on in front of them. So, and they know that. They know that none of these witnesses want to come in here and say what they told police. And if they know you say, I don't know, I mean, he did swore an oath in court and said that he told the guys honest truth. Let's go and tell them guys honest truth in this courtroom. Maybe some of the stuff he told was truthful. Here it is. Like he said, he's doing a little bit of truth sometimes. That's what he said, right? That he did that a little bit. And we'll talk about that in a moment. What's going to be important are prior statements. It is important because you as a juror get to determine the witness credibility, right? And this may be affected by you comparing and contrasting the testimony to statements or testimony of that same witness before trial starts. You, the jury, can decide whether there's a reasonable explanation for any inconsistency in a witness's pre-trial statements or testimony when compared to that same trial testimony. And we'll actually apply common sense and reason to decide what testimony you believe or do not believe. So let's go through the evolution of Kenneth Rudy Copeland. Let's take some time, all right? January 11th. This is hours after the murder. His girlfriend's house just got shot up, and they called him. Thorpe calls the girlfriend to kind of check in on and see what's happening with that shooting, and they put Copeland on the phone. See, on January 11th, when he walks inside, he real strong YSL, right? He's not trying to give up his friends. He want to let the police know, I didn't murder. Now, let me tell you something. I didn't murder Donovan Thomas. I'm going to tell you at my girlfriend's house. I'm going to tell you I went to the Green Store. I went to McDonald's. He's not going to give you too much information because here, he's trying to still protect his friends. That's just common sense. The police don't really know what's going on yet. So when he first goes in, he's trying to protect his friends. But then we get January 28th. See, y'all remember, y'all, this is after he gets out the shootout on the highway. See, this is after he came from the little pool party, and he on his way home, and they shoot at him at the highway. And remember in this interview, he talks about, I believe, Shannon being upset with him because he didn't want to shoot back. So here, he's trying to tell them everything that YFN people are doing to him, but he's still not trying to give up his friends. They're his friends. But he's a little frustrated because everyone's blaming him for murdering Donovan Thomas, and everyone's shooting back at him, shooting him, and he didn't do anything. Then we get February 20th. Now this was the worst one because that's when he's trying to come out the house to take his baby.
All right, guys, the Fonnie Willis hearing did start. She's not there, and here's what my hesitation on covering it. She does this a lot. She doesn't show up herself. If she shows up, then I'll stream it. All right. But it has started. It is in the same courthouse. Judge Ingram, which was the second judge on this YSL case, is presiding over that matter. But here's what's happening with the Fonnie thing. This is why I think Fonnie will probably not show up. Here's what happens. There's a subpoena. The Georgia Senate Committee wants some of her records. She has been fighting this for months, and they subpoenaed her, meaning that they're trying to force her to give us the records or give the Georgia Senate Committee the records, and she has been denying it, right? So now it is in front of a judge because it's like, okay, well, now the judge needs to decide, is it legal for the Georgia Senate Committee to request it, and what happens? Do you need to give it to them? So Judge Ingram is presiding, and this is the thing, guys. Georgia is so small. That courthouse is so small. Like, there's really like 4 or 5 judges, and we've seen them all this year on camera. So, anywho, I'm going to continue this, and then we'll keep going.
To the hospital, and they come down the street shooting at him. So now he's like, they are shooting at me. They're shooting at my baby and my girl. Look, this is too much. And he tells them about what happened. Again, this is the interview where he really didn't want to give up who shot at him. He knew who did it, but see, that gang street code is he still didn't want to give up the person who shot at him and his baby. And that's when Kurt was like, you're not going to tell me who just shot at you and your baby? Then the next day was February 21st. They had arrested him for a violation of probation. He was upset because they arrested him on a violation of probation. And Gaither talks to him, one, about the shooting that had happened the day before, and trying to get more information about the murder, trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on with this back and forth? Because by this time, and ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to go through that whole litany, we're going to call it Operation Plan of Shooting, but you heard evidence of all those shootings that were happening back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they're trying to get a grasp of what is happening. And then we get to the 9-hour interview. So what happened between February and June? A lot. We got some back and forth shootings. Remember, Mr. Copeland went to jail for that violation of probation. He came out. He went to Henry County for a little while. And then on June 10th, he gets arrested for the gun that he had at the Dunbar Center back in May. And what's going on here? Mr. Copeland is tired. He's been getting shot at. His family been getting shot at. Homes getting shot up. Remember Kenneth Hurst or Kenny Booth's house? His sister-in-law, his sister's child's father's home has been broken, getting shot at. And Shannon and Mr. Williams not talking to him. Remember Shannon, and he thought Mr. Williams was trying to kill him. That's everything he talks about in this 9-hour interview. And let me say this, if some reason y'all want to watch all these interviews again, y'all can. You just gotta let them know. I don't know if you want to sit there watching 9-hour interviews again, but if you wanted to, you can. But in this interview, he is at the place where enough is enough for him. And I'm going to tell you about Mr. Copeland, I'm going to tell you about Condarius Zachary. They are self-preservationists. What do I mean by that? They're going to not talk about what they do because they don't want to go to jail. But it's telling on them it's going to get me out of jail. I'm going to tell you what's happened. Because I don't want to go to jail. He's absolutely right. He did not want to go to jail. But he's not going to lie to the police about what they did. He's going to minimize what he's done. And that's what he did in this interview for 9 hours. He minimized his involvement in some things, but he told everything that they did. And if you don't believe what he told the police, well, let's listen to what he told his girlfriend on the jail call.
Right. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking about it, guys. They lost. I mean, I'm listening to this debauchery and I'm like, I don't even know if it's worth it. I really don't. I really don't. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to finish these off and then I need to get with my team so we can reconvene, plan a few things, plan some of these interviews, get some of these questions, have you guys submit questions for the attorneys that are coming on. So I have Max Shard confirmed. I do have Ashley Merchant confirmed, and we do need to get those posts up and things like that. Crazy day. The verdict is in if you have missed it. Yak Gotti, free on all charges, right? Not guilty on all charges. Shannon, guilty of one. I'm just so grateful for this community and everything that we have done. It's going to be amazing to talk to Max. I'm going to finish off these supers and then your girl's going to get something to eat. I am starving. Okay, so let's do that. I have invited a few more other attorneys on the case, so we will see who bites, and hopefully I hear back from Doug as well, and we'll just have these interviews and allow you guys to ask some questions because you're learning so much about the legal system. Shout out to JC with the 2 says thank you, Woody, and Woody, we trusted. No Rico, no gang. That's right. Shout out to Kelly House, who's been a member for 3 months, says what lawsuits are on the table now? Congrats, AV. Well, I am planning on doing a Karen Reed rewatch, but this week I want to get these interviews knocked out, but we will do that for the holidays. For the month of December, we're going to do a Karen Reed rewatch, but this case is not over. It looks like it is starting back up again in February, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Of course, is YFN, I think it's YNW Melly, so we're waiting on the Melly case as well. Diddy shenanigans. We have a whole content count. I'm going in on Diddy, guys. We're going to have a video like all the time on Diddy. There's just so much. There's so much to do with Diddy. Like, what do you want me to do? There's so much with Diddy. And real quick, I thought I took the link down, but I do see somebody in the back real quick. Let me just chat with her for a second. Shout out to Michelle. How you doing, Michelle?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Awesome.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What'd you think of today's proceedings?
I was so excited. I jumped up off my couch and was screaming, "Thank you, Lord." And my dog was scared to death. Like, what's going on, Mama?
No, I bet. It's definitely exciting.
I was screaming, "Thank you, Lord." And my
And
dog
do you have
was
us on your TV?
Yeah, I got the TV on. I'm sorry. Do I need to turn it off?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
I'm so glad to talk to you, baby. Thank you so much for covering this trial, and I have learned a lot from you about the law that I didn't know. And I'm so thankful for you and Lead, and I'm glad that Lead's doing good. I'm working on my course. Thanks to you, I was able to buy it. I'm planning on starting my YouTube channel probably in February next year. I'm doing something totally different. I love the outdoors. I'm working due to my health. I lost my teeth, but I'm getting a new set this month. So I'm so excited for Jack and for Shannon. I was so worried about them, especially Kendrick getting that looks awful on his head. I cried. I'm like, if these guys don't go home, they might get really hurt. Somebody,
They could get hurt in jail, and they have been. Both of these two have been involved in some altercations.
So, anyway, thank you, AV. And there's so many things that this trial that I really enjoyed and thought was amazing. I loved it when Max got Little Woody to say about the 2 made up that wasn't even real people. That was one of my favorites. And then Brian still willing to go to jail, and him starting to take off his stuff. Jack, he was ready to go to jail for Jeffrey Williams, and that is great that he. And I'm glad that
he's a good lawyer.
Yes, he's an amazing lawyer. All of them are. I look at them they're superstars now to me. And anyway, I thank you, AV.
Anytime, Michelle. I wanted to catch you real quick because I know that you've supported both me and Lead for months. So I wanted to thank you personally for that. And you're welcome up anytime, okay?
Thank you. And I love Girls from Texas. She's amazing. Here Comes Drama and Mixed Chick Sammy. I love them. Thank you. again. I'm
answers.
so happy.
Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. It was great seeing you. Come up anytime, okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
All right,
And
take
love
care.
you
Love
all,
you all,
chat.
Chad. Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Take care. All right, guys. It was great to catch Michelle real quick, just as we are about to end the stream. So she popped in at a good moment. But thank you so much for popping in and sharing your thoughts. Shout out to JC, been a member for a month, says, well, S all. Oh, YSL is not a gang. That's right. We learned that. We learned that. Shout out to ICU with the 2 says, now go and sin no more, right? Shout out to Practitioner Her with the 2 says, we are so excited for you to build AV. Yes, and this is around the time that I got word from Max that he's coming on the channel. Shout out to the Little Gaming channel with 20. He says, the one day out of all days, I have a C-suite meeting and they have one day and I missed the conclusion of this fiasco. Shake my head. And listen, the Little Gaming channel has been invested in this. So I hope you're having a great meeting, brother. And of course, there are plenty of trials for us to cover. And you won't miss a beat in the future. Thank you so much, brother. Hope you're having a great meeting. Lily's been a member for 2 months. Says so much love to you, AV, the little channel that could. Yes, yes, we are growing, guys. We're going to hit that 100,000. I know we can do it. Definitely sooner than we think. Shout out to the stylist and barbers, SAV with the 5 says, look at Shard after Shannon got sentenced. He was looking high as F. Y'all, I'm so happy for them. God is awesome. That's right. Look at God. Shout out to D Money yesterday, who had a very enlightening super chat, is back today with the 2 says, so who is SB going home to, Kayla, stripper, or girlfriend? Well, we will see, D Money. We will see. Trendy Locks with the 5 says, I love how you and TLA encourage everyone in the chat. You and Lead are true educators. Thank you for all the 2 of you do. Thank you so much. That was very, very sweet, Trendy Locks. And that's the thing. We really should be thanking Lead because, like, you know, I learned how to stream from him, you know, like everything that he does, like he's taught me all of that. It came with some coaching, you know, it came with a lot of coaching, but like the way that I stream right now is really due to him. So I want to give him his flowers. If y'all could do me a favor, type TLA in the chat, show the appreciation. Shout out to Katrina with the 2 euros, I think. Yes. She says, God is watching down on you all and the defense. Yes, 100%. Thank you so much, Katrina. Scott A with the 5 says, Doug would have blue trial on the drugs and guns based on Shannon being convicted of possession. The switch is a 5-minute, 10 years consecutive. He did good. That's right, Scott. Thank you so much. D Money back with another 2 says, did AV play Max on 11 Alive? I'm in and out at work. No, I didn't. It's only a 9-minute clip, guys, but we're going to have Max all to ourselves for like an hour. Oh my God. I'm so pumped for that. So thank you so much, D Money. Shout out to Jackie with the 5 says, I could only watch with and or TLA with you. Yeah. Thank you so much for your loyalty, Jackie. That means so much to us. A girl from Texas gifted a membership. Then she did it again. Then she did it 3 times. Shout out to a girl from Texas. It was so good to see our sister up here. She is amazing, super sweet. And, you know, we're just so thankful for all of you guys. Shout out to Pyro with the 2 says, happy holidays, AV and chat. AV can't thug, appeal, slat. He can. You know, a few of you guys have had that question. I'm pretty sure if it is appealable that Brian Steele is on it. On it, doggone it. Shout out to Full Drink and a Half Thinking with the 10 says, good afternoon, wifey. Thank you, Trin. Thank you. I hope you're having a good afternoon as well. Coming to a few cash apps. Let me see who we have here. A few of them came in. Those are emails. I think I caught you, Freddie. Shout out to Haley with $10 on the Venmo. She, I believe, has a question. It says, if Doug would have waited, he'd still be in the prosecution's case. The jury found guilt for Shannon for possession of that gun. That, I would think, would have been what they split the baby with for Thug. The outcome would have been different if Thug would have stayed, in my opinion. Haley, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that, but you're absolutely right, Haley. Like, if they were to convict Shannon for some things, it's likely that they could have done that for Thug. Thank you so much, Haley. You are a sweetheart. Shout out to Valerie with the 15 says, now what are we going to do without you and TLA? We're still gonna be here. We're still gonna be here, guys. We have done so many trials. And what we do while we're waiting for other ones is we cover like legal documents. I know it could be a little dry and boring, but like we ain't going nowhere. Trust us. We're still gonna be around. So thank you so much. Shout out to Tashida with the 10 says, YSL, take this ish to trial. Everyone wipe your nose. God doesn't sleep. That's right. That's right. Slatty. Thank you so much, sis. Shout out to Why So Serious says, did you play Max or Doug from 11 on Live? No, I didn't. So again, that is a 9-minute clip, but the reason why I didn't is because we are going to get Max here and we will be able to talk to him, which is very, very exciting. All right, guys, that catches me all up. We have a ton of content to work on. So I'm gonna go do some directing and producing stuff and get some more things ready for y'all throughout the week. It's gonna be fantastic. Lots of excitement coming. So excited for Ashley, so excited for Max. I'm so excited for some of the other videos we're producing for y'all. You build it as you fly it. The little channel that could will succeed. All right, y'all, listen, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. You will be seeing me on these YouTube streets. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.